Babylon trap. Oh yes, I'm running and we can't look back. Oh no, 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 no. Freedom time, my friend. Mental slavery here. Calling all children. Hope you go free here. Come on, running and we can't look back. Don't wanna stay in a Babylon. Oh yes, sir, running and we can't look back. Don't wanna turn in a north and south. Running and we can't look back. Don't wanna stay in a Babylon trap. Oh yes, sir, running and we can't look back. Oh, computers, warmongers, them shooters, them looters. Computers, warmongers, them shooters, are them looters. I say computers, are them warmongers, are them shooters, are them looters. I say computers, warmongers, them looters, them shooters. Oh, we're running and we can't look back. Don't wanna stay in a Babylon trap. Oh, yes, sir, running and we can't look back. Oh, no, no, salsa. Running and we can't look back. Don't wanna stay in a Babylon trap. Oh, yes, sir, running and we can't look back. Oh, no, no, no. Gero River is blood, yeah. And my bed is stone, no. And why them sit and drown, run down, yeah. We have to struggle for our own, my people. Running and we can't look back. Don't wanna stay in a Babylon. Oh yes, we're running and we can't look back. Don't wanna turn in a north and south. Running and we can't look back. Don't wanna stay in a Babylon. Oh yes, we're running and we can't look back. Oh. But you must have far right. It's the most time. He lead I never die. You must have far right. It's the most time. He lead I never die. King Rastafari is the most time. He lead I never die. King Rastafari is the most time. He leads I. Oh yeah. We can't look back. Don't wanna stay in a Babylon trap. Oh yes, oh I'm rolling and I roll, turning and no salsa. I'm on. Running and we can't look back. Oh come on, I say we never gonna turn over back. Oh yeah, we running out. We can't look back. Now the top place to leave your side so right now. Yes, Jah.
Yeah, you know what it is. DFZ Radio. We are live on YouTube and dfzradio.com. Make sure you call in now. Phone lines are open. 562-653-0707. That's 562-653-0707. Got an exciting show tonight. Make sure you call in, get your free grow gear. Right here, DFZ Radio, we got Geopots live interview. Fabric or plastic pots? Call in, let us know what you're rocking with. Heavy T's Grow Show coming right up.
Life is like a game of FIFA. You can kick it or you can reach your goals. Maybe you can do both. Maybe your music is known. You need to prove that you focus on more than blowing that smoke. I'm on my Michael Jordan, Michael Johnson, Michael Jackson in his prime. Tiger Woods of this rap shit, been rapping my whole life. You just clubbing every night and be struggling on the mic. But the hustle isn't nothing when you in love with the grind. Moving product like I'm Nino, mobbing like I'm CeeLo. Caribbean Latino, I be half Asian and gringo. Catch me with a rum on the rocks, walking the walk, girl on my job. Talking like she wanna take me back to a spot. Not from Houston, but I'm rapping a lot. Yeah, making music like you trapped in a box. I'm breaking the locks, changing the game, not chasing the charts. And if we on the same page, show me what you got. How you work. Fell in love with the game at the age of 13. Wet dreams of taking over the scene. Was a microphone fiend, still addicted to the feeling of letting out my feelings. Better bet if I'm in the building, I'm killing. Everything moving, if you playing, you're losing. If you staying where you at, you ain't building a movement. I ain't chilling, I'm coolin'. Like a villain, I swoop in. And I ain't stealing nothing, cause the Zilla is the blueprint. Son of an immigrant, my mother been working since summer of 76. Not talking, we living it. Yeah, we living it. I'm the evidence. I was born, microphone checking it. Never been a lazy one, even when blazing on. 7 times a day, making straight A's and albums. Raised on that Malcolm, working like Cesar Chavez. Now I'm working with Amp Live. Guess you can see the progress. Work. Show me love, Southzilla. Show me love. Show me love worldwide. Show me love. Go.
Send it out, living in motion. A heavy mojo coming straight from the ocean. Let it out and fit it in, an inching portion. A touch of sunlight has me caught up in the notion. Giving what you have to give, a sweet devotion. A living, breathing, healing state of emotion. Honoring each other's kin, ego implosion. Your best self in a fabulous explosion. And you can find me up in the groove, killing it with the sickest rhythm only. sun warms up the morning. And when it's time to return to the gloom, yeah, you know we shared a little moment. Yeah, we shared a little moment. Whoa, yeah, we shared a little moment. Round about your suffering without imposing. A gentle breeze putting everything in focus. Channeling the love within, subconscious learning. A deep-rooted answer breeding all the hurting. Underlying innocence, a passion burning. The motivation measured straight from the earning. Living free and tempting sin, unscripted yearning. This situation can be dangerously curving. And you can find me up in the groove, killing it with the sickest rhythm only. No other people can spoil my mood. A life without music can be lonely. So come and shake out your everyday blues, kicking it till the sun warms up the morning. And when it's time to return to the gloom, yeah, you know we shared a little moment. Yeah, we shared a little moment. Whoa, yeah, we shared a little moment. And you can find me up in the groove, killing it with the sickest rhythm only. No other people can spoil my mood. A life without music can be lonely. So come and shake out the everyday blues, kicking it till the sun warms up the morning. And when it's time to return to the gloom, yeah, you know we shared a little moment. And you can find me up in the groove, killing it with the sickest rhythm only. No other people can spoil my mood. A life without music can be lonely. So come and shake out your everyday blues, kicking it till the sun warms up the morning. And when it's time to return to the gloom, yeah, you know we shared a little moment. Whoa, yeah, we shared a little moment. Yeah, we shared a little moment. Whoa, yeah, we shared a little moment. Yeah, we shared a little moment.
I got those mouths to feed, got them bills to pay. Sometimes of late, feel like a circus man spinning 20 plates. Holding my head up high as I reach closer to the finish line. If you're negative, I can't have this, so keep out of my business. Don't you try to bring me down now. Try to bring me down now. Don't you try. Well, don't you try to bring me down now. No.
Where's the grinder at? You got
When I say
You got a hold of head up high,
hold it high,
and I said way up to the sky, yeah.
Yo, what is Heavy T's Grow Show? Coming up live right now on DFCRadio.com. Call in 562-653-0707. Left Coast Wholesale, Geopots, Turpinator. All the great brands over there. It's not even Left Coast anymore, BMC. It's Best Coast
Best.
Wholesale. Coming up live, call in. Let's do it.
down now.
Sad song on the track, yeah. Tubby love got your back, say. Alright. Yeah, yeah.
Well, these days it's hard to be, hard to let go, said it's hard to see. It seems there's always something trying to keep us down. War of a world turned upside down, but I see love, so sing it out. Well, this song is timeless, transcending the world and unscathed by violence, and I won't let them harden me. Well, I know there's work to do, putting my gloves on, said I work with you, cause I know we can be the change, yeah. And sometimes it's hard, but it must be done. So I'm gonna be love, I'm gonna birth strength, I'm gonna be where I'm at and give thanks. Take my time, admit when I'm wrong, write it all down and sing a new song. I'm gonna be free, gonna be me, cause I know that it's all that I have to be. I'ma be bold, find strength there. Oh, now I'm gonna be love. I'm gonna be love, yeah. I'm gonna be love.
Be love, yeah.
I'm gonna be love, yeah.
This one's for my tribe.
One tribe.
Because we're all in this together, living in crucial times. And we can make a change.
We can make a change.
We can learn how to love each other, how to live in a sacred way. Great Creator, keep on growing us strong.
Keep it growing strong.
Give us roots in our foundation to carry the healing song. Yeah, this is our chance.
DFCRadio.com.
The cannabis portion of this show is designed as entertainment only for legal medicinal cannabis patients over 21 years of age and is not meant to encourage any other activity or use. Yeah, dick.
Talking about the Heavy T Road Show. Knowing someone better than your show. And everybody knowing this whole show. Yeah. Talking about the Heavy T Road Show.
Previously on Heavy T's Grow Show. Previously
I got an extra
on
stimulus check just because that kid I had with your mom. And what else is there to do on a wife's birthday except listen to a couple misogynist drunk guys talk about growing? 562-653-0707. Quick update on the new low. It has stabilized.
Stabilization?
They went down to 17 in between shows.
I realized that
and now it's back up to 18 and
potentially
stable.
the new low is correlated to Bitcoin. As Bitcoin goes up, the new low goes down, but as the Bitcoin goes down, the new low goes up.
For my first setup, I want to do living soil and an indoor too at that. I just want to see if that's like feasible.
Do you live with anyone?
No.
Well, that's a good thing because they would kick your ass for the stinky ass living soil you're trying to put in your indoor grow room right now. Are you trying to ball on a budget? You got your stimmy check and you're ready to ball.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm ready to ball.
Okay, so you ready to ball? This is the bad news. You ain't getting no good LED for $600, so you better hope that they pass that $1,400.
You need that
with
$2,000 check.
$2,000 altogether, you'd be all right.
The benefit of LEDs, more than anything, is not swapping out those bulbs. And you're going to save money in the long run by spending a little extra money up front because you won't have to use those bulbs or change the bulbs, and you're going to get about the same amount of light for fucking almost 10 years. Plus, living soil is good, especially for outdoor or greenhouse, because you have a longer season. When you have an 8-week season, an 8-week flower time indoors, and you have living soil, not everything is necessarily readily available to the plant because it has to be broken down, processed, and made available. That's how Duff Man used to be. Remember, this fool would come like a marathon, be coming in here like, I'm going to drink all these beers. You got 18 bags? All right, well, none of them are on my side. Like, dog, there's like 6 people here.
Okay.
BMC had to go take a dump, so he'll be back here in a little bit. Just like, it's like the whole household sharing a toothbrush. One person gets sick, they're all going to get sick. Right?
Now, I guess that's the biggest risk.
I don't have any toothbrushes in my house. Do you think I crushed his dreams, really? I don't think I did.
You like.
He said, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I know. And you started off like really like you were like not going to say anything. And
well,
then you were like, here I come.
I just let you talk first for once. The newbies are either the guys that are like Discount Dave, where they're like, do I really need that? I don't think I need that. No one PHs anyways, do they? No. And to the analytic Andys that are like, I need every piece of equipment. Yeah. Have you ever seen anything like these 2 plants? And you're just like, see the pictures. And you're like,
and
those
Andy,
don't look
I
very
think
good.
he called last week, and they're the people who they'll send me a DM or they'll call the show and they're like, so basically 99.99% of the plant is lush, green, waxy, healthy, praying. It's juicy, it's yielding. But let's focus on this one leaf at the very bottom of the plant. What do you think happened?
There once was a man from Long Beach named Heavy T who started the network DFZ. His grow was sharp and his wit was quick, so called the Sages call. Now, soon may the Duff Man come to ask about growing booth and stuff. One day when the low has come, we'll take the new low and grow. As the years have passed, his growth amassed, the price of trees had raised and crashed. Like multivator, curvator, prove the means dictate the prices. Soon may the Duff Man come. That's pretty much all I got.
Pretty good.
Are you playing the piano too?
It's hard to do both at the same time.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's live music.
Just like my financial advisor, Dutch, said, AMC and GME to the moon, baby.
They,
to the moon.
Hey.
I don't know about you guys, but never take fucking stock advice from a guy with dreadlocks and a bandana.
Hey. I've never worn a bandana.
Anyway, I got to get back to practicing my fucking Liberace.
Don't settle for the new low, bro. We got to drive it back to the old low. And it's only as growers that we stand together. These undercutters, fucking Dr. Duffs of the world trying to undercut everyone. Like, you fucking undercutter, bitch. I should have cut you out of my life a long time ago. I've been paying him to keep his mouth shut, but let him write that tell-all book. I don't care anymore. All right, well, what's going on tonight, man?
All right. As you guys know, you guys all watch my videos, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the time.
What the fuck else we got to do with our lives?
No, by heart.
I even gave you guys a shout out. You know, you guys more
Oh,
trees
you
than
did?
apples.
Oh, I saw that.
Hell yeah, I was
saw
like,
that,
hell
dog.
yeah, when I was watching it.
dog.
I was like,
Nice.
Somebody asked that today, how long you've been doing the show, and I told them 8 years, so I was wrong.
10 years, dog. Over 500
10
episodes.
years.
Heavy T's Grow Show. We've gone through co-hosts and staff like no other show on the internet. One thing remains constant: my unequivocal dedication to being an asshole. Hit it.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Dr. Ratio here. Is your local grocery store letting you down and don't have tanks available right when you need them? They might have sold out over the weekend and they don't deliver on the weekend, so they didn't have it right on Monday morning for you? Well, that's bullshit. So I came up with the #1 selling CO2 camp stove. That's right. So we had Analytic Pete tonight. We got Dr.
Analytic Andy.
Oh yeah, Analytic.
Paclo Pete.
But Paclo Pete. What is Paclo Pete? Tell us about this grower.
Paclo Pete is like the opposite of Analytic Andy because if he's got like a yellow leaf, he just ignores it. He never checks his pH or ppm. He just gives it a few glugs at A and B.
Yeah, it's fucking 3-second glug.
Kicks the tires and goes. You know.
I'm good though. I ain't even tripping. I'm just smoking my weed.
Yeah, we are welcoming a couple new sponsors, y'all, and that means bigger and better prizes, and also bringing you the innovators. So, other than that, we're out.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. My stuff and leave. Excuse me, please.
Yo, yo, yo. What is? Welcome, Heavy T's Grow Show. Right here on DFCRadio.com, on YouTube.com, on yourmom.com. Hope everyone's doing well. Enjoyed the recap. Thank you to Upstate Grower for editing that up. Sorry that we're starting a little late. I was accosted by someone in the parking lot wanting a stimulus in the form of my change from the liquor store.
You got any stimulus?
I said, no hablo inglés. And little did I know, he spoke more Spanish than I did. So I had to fake it like I did know Espanol. I said, amigo, no tengo cambio. Su vida necesita cambiar.
So you knew enough Spanish to get out of there.
Sí, es verdad. Es verdad. Yo puedo hablar español. Qué fuerte. Mis amigos y mi familia. Todos somos. Todos somos.
Muy bien con queso.
Pueden hablar español. Yeah. Anyways. Parlo italiano. Ci sono di Long Beach. Hey. Lasagne. La città di Torino. Mamma mia. Yeah. Multilingual, that's how we do it. I can barely speak English. My voice is a little hoarse here tonight. Yelling too much at these kids in cold weather. These fucking kids, man. Let me give you a piece of advice. Don't do it.
Just don't have them?
Nah. Well, you certainly don't have them.
Is that your advice?
You already have a kid. It's
Yeah.
your wife.
That's my teenage daughter.
She never came out of it. Hey, let's talk grow. 562-653-0707. Talking. Speaking of grow, BMC, show people what we have on the table. I don't know if this was a gift that was left by a listener, if Dutch Master Hermes sealed these up.
These are definitely hermetically sealed. I don't know if they're hermaphrodite sealed.
Yeah, hermetically sealed is what I meant. But what is this?
They're
put it in the camera so people can see.
They're little clones, and they're in this bag.
Is that a geo bag? Because we got geopots on tonight.
Well, it's definitely some type of bio bag.
It's a plastic bag. That's not a geo bag.
It's a biodome for sure.
That's not a dome either.
Like somebody's melted it into being a completely sealed unit.
It says something about electronics and printing on the side. That's not anything to do with a grow anything.
Yeah, no, this bag definitely was part of some kind of shipping, but now it's a clone bag.
All right. So what's going on with those clones?
It looks like maybe there's a little scale.
A little scale?
Yeah.
How about that? Those things are covered in scale. Why the fuck are they in the studio?
They on the bright side, they are green and standing up, but yeah.
Okay.
Keep those quarantined.
That's just from the extra silica he used.
Yeah.
We
Sturdy
know,
stocks.
We know that they're healthier than Saints clones then.
Yeah, they're live, so they're healthier.
With a few less bugs. Can you turn off the goddamn screensaver? How many times a week do we gotta tell you this shit?
But
You only told me once.
If these make it though, this strand of ours Insta famous.
What is it?
And it's the sour mints.
Sour mint.
So it's sour diesel times Kush mints, I think.
Okay.
And Dab Zanya and iDab and all those kids have that one, and it's supposed to be it's what all the cool kids are growing.
I don't know who
Any
any of those people are.
That's what I mean. It's an Instagram famous strain, not a real famous strain.
So yeah. So you are admitting that if you're Instagram famous, you're not really famous?
Well, yeah, you're famous on Instagram only.
You know, talking about famous, I was at lunch today at a restaurant, and the famous reporter Dave Lopez. Do you know who he is from KCAL 9,
Yeah.
the little Latino dude?
Yeah, Dave Lopez.
That's super fired up. He was sitting across from me, and I was like, "Oh shit, honey!" I was like, "That's Dave Lopez over there," and she was like, "Hey," you know, this dude got up and be like, "Hey, aren't you Black Market Cultivator's friend?"
No, he didn't.
And I was like, yeah. And he's like, what's the new low? People are hitting me up on my Instagram. And I was like, okay, well, you're going to find out tonight. So without further ado, let's talk about the new low.
The new low.
I don't care what the low is. It seems like that the flow is low, that no one's buying shit.
But it is getting better. Like,
okay, you need to buy some of my shit?
Pretty soon, maybe.
It's getting better?
You need some trim packs?
It might be getting that good. No, but yeah, they are going like faster, it seems, and for like either the same or more as it was last week. So it looks like it's only going up from here. It's gonna be a good year.
Yes.
Did you really sell anything?
Yeah, there's a lot of it's gone now.
This sounds like a bullshit statement.
There's still some left.
Every of course there's some left. There's some, like, you know, all of it.
You gotta hold your grounds.
You gotta stack packs.
We need to form a coalition. Yeah. A new low union.
A grow-alition.
A grow-alition.
We could all. We could block the streets.
A gronion.
We could block the streets until the prices are what we want them.
Oh my God! You and I can't block any street. We'll just get ran over. We could get the guy asking for a combio out there.
We'll just turn the van sideways, flatten the tires.
Yeah. One of us will have like a fighting staff, like a stick, and the other one will have a shotgun. And
I think we'll be good.
That's the beginning to The Walking Dead Long Beach. Heavy T and BMC on Clark Avenue. Don't come down Clark Avenue. You'll never know what you're either gonna get shot or you're gonna have to buy a pack.
For the new look.
Right.
If you refuse, then you're done with.
You don't get carjacked in LB. They just force you to buy their packs.
Done with. Hey, how about the aspect of the CRC whip? I keep seeing people saying, is that hash rosin? First off, what's the difference between hash rosin and regular rosin? I don't get it.
Well, I think it's just there's hash rosin and flower rosin, and then the flower rosin's from the pressed flower, and then the hash rosin's from pressed hash. But then what people are doing is they're getting the CRC, which stands for color remediation canister, and that's a different way with gases, which is the unhealthy way. People don't want these hydrocarbons getting stuck in their concentrate, and then they just whip it up and it's white and it looks good, and they're like, oh, that's hash rosin. But if you have the taste for it, you know that it's CRC and you got ripped off.
What?
Because CRC is only like $10 a gram, and then hash rosin, some people are even doing for like $100 a gram.
Ooh.
So then people are getting the CRC for $10 a gram, pricing it at $50, and then ripping people off.
Take it back a second.
Yeah.
How do I make the $10 gram stuff $100 gram stuff?
You just call CRC hash rosin,
and then I whip it.
Well, like the CRC comes whipped even.
I'm like, yo, name is Toby. Yo, CRC name is Toby.
Yeah, just you gotta whip it good. And then
it's like, no, I'm hash rosin.
Like they'll give it to you like in a parchment paper or a jar, and then you just put it in little jars with little labels, and you're like, ooh, 90U hash rosin, and then you call them all hash rosin, and then people come murder you.
Then Jordabs buys it.
Yeah, people get in like big fights over this.
Well, what do you mean?
Like they're like, oh man, like that guy did me dirty. He ripped me off.
But how do you find out that it's CRC afterwards if you thought it was hash rosin? Is there a test?
Smoke it.
Yeah, like the way it looks, you can't tell, but then when you smoke it, you could taste that it's CRC.
You could taste
because
motherfucker. We're dealing with these stoners that I swear to God,
all of them will all the callers should back me up on this.
No, because the same people that you say could taste it are buying your pack load out Avid Nugs saying they're good.
No, everyone can taste it. Everyone should agree or call in and disagree. All CRC tastes exactly the same.
What does it taste like?
It like has a little bit of like a lemony taste.
Oh.
But it's all the same. Like my buddy who has it all the time, he's like, oh, taste this one, taste that one. I'm like, it's the same. Every time you give me it, it tastes the same. So like if someone gave me a gram and said it was hash rosin, I'd be able to taste it and be like, that's CRC. That guy ripped me off.
You'd know.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd know.
I think I would know. Let's do a double blind test.
Let's do a double blind
test. Send me
blind
CRC
test.
And send me rosin. And then I'll tell you if it's rosin or CRC.
Yep. Mail it to 3303 Monogram Drive in Long
Monogram.
Beach. Labeled at Black Market Cultivators, care of Dr. Duffman.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if you ever want to send anything Dr. Duff, that's his home address.
Oh, man.
If you want to call him, it's 562-682-8556. Call him now. Oh, man. You're cutting that out, ain't you? Cut it out. Cut it out.
We'll cut it out later, but the live people get to.
It's live.
They get to see it.
It's forever.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, don't sell CRC as hash rosin. That's bad. And people will hate you.
All right. Manny's fired. Just got another communication here.
Oh, man. This just in.
This just in. Hold on. Open up the door real quick. Bring Manny in here. Manny.
Yes.
I got some messages here from our online shop. Go ahead and get on the microphone over there, brother. Go ahead. Get on Dutch's mic so all the COVID gets on his microphone.
Share the love.
Yeah, cough. nice hack there, Manny. We gotta love Manny. Manny walks in with no one around him, with his mask on, his gaiter on, walks into the shop, removes his gaiter as he gets close to you and says, "What's up? Where'd you watch the game? What strain are you growing?" Manny, I think you're too concerned with what people are doing outside the shop. Because here we have Tanapat, Sira Terawang. Excuse me, I just got this product, and I think you missed the bug candy. Can you contact me back, please? Thank you. Are we not reading the pack slips again, Manny?
Man, I'm like doing it slow. I'm, trying to read everything, and how before those messages, when did they come in?
About 30 seconds ago.
Okay. Before those messages.
What do you mean
when
before?
Was the last time? When was the last time I got a complaint?
Okay, let's go. Let's go down to earlier today.
You talking about the most recent?
Item didn't arrive. Was scheduled weeks ago. Please remove from queue. Da Vinci Soul. And who are you selling to that this person is Tara Tuangawang and Da Vinci Soul?
Wait, that's their name?
Yeah, they have the worst. Oh, and this guy had a delivery attempt but needed additional shipping charges. Oh, my gosh, Manny. You know what, Manny? Just go tell someone to call in or something, okay? Go get someone from Compton to call in and talk grow with us.
All right.
You just got to do better, man.
I try.
What do you mean?
I thought I was doing good. I hadn't had no complaints.
If it says today, Bud Candy and Big Bug combo, and you forget one of them, that's not doing good.
It's set, not combo. Set.
Okay, well, it says set, bundle, whatever the fuck it is. Get out of here.
All right. Shit. Call me in here.
Yeah, sucker.
All right.
By the way, shout out to the seeds you grew. That was a good job. Hey, man, he's like, I don't know, these turtle seeds are unstable. What are you talking about? Well, the tent on my back porch got seeds. I wonder if that tent's light tight.
It's got to be 100% light tight if it's a tent, right?
Yeah. Tell Marcos to answer the phone.
There's no way the zipper's going to leak in.
Or you answer the phone, Saint. If the screener can't answer it. because we rehired Marcos even.
So when it said set, did they get?
Oh, and then you hung up on him.
Did they get one bottle?
Oh, my God. Let's take a quick break. We're coming back live with Left Coast Wholesale, Amanda, Sean from Geopots. We're talking grow. What can a fabric pod do for you in your life? You're going to be shocked to find out right here on Heavy T's Grow Show. It's dfzradio.com.
Previously on Heavy T's Grow Show.
I got an extra stimulus check because that kid I had with me.
I'm zoning, street riding in my ride. Where I'm going, I can't even decide. I need to take a breather, a reliever. I will see it when I see it. I'm a leaper, so I piece it. All I need is my speakers. Yeah, the beat to it, and to speak of this on some deeper shit. I'ma eat with this, you can't compete with this. Keep the refilling, keep the heater hit. Call it cheetah swift. When I hit my destination, I need some drinks to sit and keep on going and keep on flowing. Something I'm not going home. Papa was a rolling stone, traveling down this lonely road. Never know where he's gonna go, but oh so ready though. Calm like the calm before the storm. Life's a metaphor, can't ignore what's in store. Mechanic doors opening, I'm focusing, I'm hoping. I'm not hopeless. Everything that I've been working for, everything I've been hurt for, like the hunger that you can't ignore. It's right there and you can't afford to let it go. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm just riding in my ride. In my ride. Riding in my ride. In my riding. Riding in my ride. In my ride. Riding in my riding in my riding in my riding in my
Symphonies tuned to a level volume. Windows cracked, feel the chilly breeze of the spirits calling. Night lights crawling, ricocheting off the water. Vision in the rear mirror, plus I'm watching what's before me. 360 peripherals keep us in the middle, like club caps rolling through instrumentals. It's the minimal, Millennium Falcon, master movement, middle dimensional. Metamorphosis minerals, laser, DeLorean missiles. Megatron reassemble, coming together in the call with my symbols. Brazilian, African, and Castaneda. Say the math for later, but now just enjoy the flavor. Golden, but boldy, and Quanti aside, I forget the label. Japanese tires around American rims on a European car. Beautiful, but so bizarre. And it's all on top of a black top. Riding through space, light speed, time still at a racer's pace. The final race.
Hey, I'm in the zone.
So you're big time, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
DFZRadio.com.
Hey, are you all right?
I don't know, man. I am freaking out. I think I'm having a bad trip, bro.
A bad trip? Things look fine to me. Looks like you just transplanted your girls into some happy hippie garden mix from Sanctuary Soils.
So I'm not freaking out?
Oh, you're freaking out all right, and I would be too. That's no ordinary potting soil you've got there. That's a premium organic blend that includes composted forest material, peat moss, perlite, pumice, lava rock, some of the best worm castings available, humic shale ore, dolomite lime, azomite, soy meal, and gypsum.
That's a lot of stuff. Did you just read all that? You just blew my mind, man.
It's a lot of good stuff that you can only find in an organic, natural mix like Happy Hippie.
So what you're saying is, with Happy Hippie Garden Mix, I shouldn't panic because it's organic?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that, and you shouldn't either. Although I guess you aren't wrong. Here's the deal. You aren't having a bad trip, bro. This is all great news. You're providing your plants with everything they need to get off to an incredible start.
So I can't taste colors then?
No. But you will taste and see the difference in your fruits and flowers now that you're using Happy Hippie Garden Mix from Sanctuary Soil. For more information, you should check out bulksoil.com.
Maybe I started early, huh?
Hey man, your garden smells amazing this year. What are you doing different?
Haven't you heard? We've been using the Turpinator.
Did you say Turpinator like terpenes?
Yes, exactly. Turpinator is designed to increase your plant's terpenes, which are responsible for everything from how your plants smell to how much flavorful oils they produce. Basically, Turpinator is the one-stop shop for an overall quality increase for your fruits and flowers.
That's awesome. You know, I can tell the Turpinator has not only increased the oils in all your herbs and flowers, but it looks like it's going to increase your dry weight as well. And dude, don't even get me started on those crystals. They look like mini icebergs.
Well, you better hurry up and get on board. It's flowering season right now. And since Turpinator is made right here in Sonoma County, you can literally find it in any hydro store in town. Boost your plant's oils and bring out flavors that will drive your friends wild. Turpinator. Sticky is an understatement.
Hey, I'm in the zone.
Dude, this shit is
DFCRadio.com.
Ja, Rastafari. Allah CI, bop, bop, bop. Reggae on the river. Oh, we're all missing reggae on the river. We missed it last year. We're probably missing it this year. But no fear, don't fear, because we're bringing Northern California to you. That's right. We're bringing two of the coolest people in the industry from Left Coast Wholesale. Let's welcome Amanda and Sean, everyone. Round of applause, please.
I can't believe it. They're really here.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having us on. Happy to be here.
What up, Sean? How you feeling, my man?
I'm doing great. Just kind of winding down here on a Wednesday, and happy to be on the show.
Did you bring our favorite trimmer grit, Amanda, with you?
What's up, guys?
You know, ever since Amanda climbed out of the trim tent, washed her feet, and brushed her hair, she's been doing big things in Left Coast.
Moving on up.
Oh, my God.
How are you guys doing tonight?
The first question, as a former trimmigrant, Amanda, what's the deal with dirty feet and trimmigrants?
Man, you know, they just don't let us wear shoes in the house, and so we just walk around barefoot all the time, man. It's how you get your feet, you know, back into the earth, you know?
That's right. You stay connected. The magnetic poles. You stay grounded.
Yes, you got to ground down, man.
I don't know if that's what they meant, but all right.
Grounded down.
Hey, I appreciate you guys coming on to talk grow with us. Specifically, we're going to be talking Left Coast wholesale products, including Turpinator, and our newest prize and sponsor, Geopot, coming through. So, hey, I always like to kind of introduce our guests to the audience by a little background and stuff. Sean, let me ask you, dude. You're in the garden wholesale industry, right? You're selling to cannabis growers, vegetable growers, Northern California. Even before Prop 64 and stuff, it was with a wink and a nod. We knew what people were using our products for. What is your background as far as the industry, as far as, with cannabis?
Yeah, it's funny. Like the first time, that I ever really started to grow cannabis was, with a buddy of mine in college. And, we decided to grab a little tent off Craigslist and a little T5 setup. And we tried to run 3 plants in his closet. And we killed all 3 of them.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry, Sean, but you're missing the key point of where the closet was, because in the pre-interview I was blown away. Wait, where was this closet?
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought I said it was in my buddy's dorm. Yeah,
in his dorm room.
We had one of the top floor dorms at the end of the hallway, and we were already smoking hash in there, so we figured it would be totally fine. We could probably get away with it.
Totally.
We did fine, and then we decided we were going to go to Audiotistic down in San Bernardino, and we didn't water the plants for like a week. So,
and so they died. So you ended up with a lot of dead plants and being expelled from college.
We actually didn't get caught, so that was a good thing.
Then you weren't doing it that good, lucky. Dog. You must have not had Turpinator.
We ended up with just a life lesson, so.
You probably didn't have Turpinator at that point. If you were using Turpinator, the whole world would have known that from the stench of it.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't have even watered. I would have just used Turpinator.
So you got your grow on in college, and from there you just went to Left Coast, or what was the progression?
Yeah, so I kind of bounced around the coast for a while, and ended up just kind of doing some side work and working at a buddy's farm, just kind of doing the fun jobs, just taking the branches on, hanging them up. They didn't trust me with trimming because I was the slowest trimmer in the world, so maybe a blessing, yes. I would say. But ended up getting to work a lot more just with the actual plants in the greenhouses and stuff, and that was kind of just my whole life had been around plants and in the garden, and it was just kind of felt natural. And out of college, I was looking for a job, and Left Coast was actually the first job that I applied for, and I haven't looked back since then.
Well, awesome. So what, your aunt owns Left Coast or something? Well, you got lucky enough to get a career right out of college?
Totally lucky. Like I had my girlfriend lived up here, and I decided I wanted to get out of like San Francisco. It was too expensive to live, and so I came up here and just started applying for jobs. And when they heard it seemed like a perfect fit, and just kind of helped out anywhere I could. So got to work with cannabis, which is awesome. So another plant, but it's got so much potential, and the community is really awesome here. So it's a good place to be, that's for sure.
Well, it's a good point of being in the right place at the right time. Northern California, you're growing a little bit of weed. There's opportunity to work on larger facilities, opportunity to work on the other side, out of the black markets and the white market of supply, and moving through there. It's kind of crazy because Northern California, where Left Coast is located, they had that culture for decades, way before what we see now with the Chads and the Todds and their dads investing in stuff. It is a family business in Northern California.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right. A lot of Left Coast started as a very small company as well, and Geopot's the same story. And more and more around here, the local community is really, really tight knit, and the grow local community is actually even tighter knit, and everybody kind of knows each other, and it's not as intense, some of the competition as you go further north and stuff like that, but the people really do know their stuff out here, and it's a really cool kind of community vibe. A little bit of a hippie feel going on out here, that's for sure.
Yeah, the communal that we all work together, basically working with the land, getting our hands dirty. I always say the green thumb is a myth. Dirty hands are a reality. You got to get them dirty and get in there to really know what you're doing. And honestly, that's why so many of the great companies come from Northern California. People think it's hyperbole because how big the industry is, not just in California, but going nationwide with all the other recreational and medical states. But the movement, the culture, it started right where you're at. You're right in the middle of it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's interesting, too, because you see, a lot of the lobbying and a lot of the stuff going on the, on the legal side of cannabis, too, really starting to kind of, blossom and really gain steam in some of the northern areas. There's a lot of good organizers out here and stuff like that are, really fighting for the farmers. So, it's really cool to be able to, indirectly support some of those guys and directly as well. So, we want to make sure that these guys get their voices heard. So
I know, and unfortunately, the way the legalization laws were written, and not saying they're set in stone, but it kind of kept the people that made the industry out of the industry by putting these huge barriers as far as income, as far as investment, licensing, and then land use as well, that it's stacked against the mom and pops.
Yeah. It was really overnight. It kind of seemed like a lot of people thought everything would be all right with the licensing system and the temporary licenses, and it just didn't really shake out the way that people thought, and a lot of people really got hit hard by it. It's nice to see some kind of bounce back.
It is.
However they may be doing that, but it's definitely, when legalization happened, I think a lot of people were kind of left scratching their heads, and other people left, high and dry. And,
Well, that's what I love about Left Coast Wholesale is it goes back to that culture and the mom and pop feeling of dealing with, the same individual that Amanda, you give out your cell phone number to clients like it's no one's business, to not just stores that you deal with, to end users, and say, hey, if you need help, let me know. And you won't find that at other large, big distribution companies.
Yeah, no, totally. And Left Coast, we have we're really, really big about keeping the direct relationship with stores and not working with end users directly, which, a lot of the folks listening tonight might, kind of shake their heads at, because we have so many people that reach out to us that are, massive companies or even, the smaller guys, and they just want the best deal. But mostly they just want to be, taken care of, because a lot of times when you have to go to the stores, they're kind of just left, getting a product and that's it. But, we really try to, if we don't have something in stock, what do we have that can work for you? And I was working with somebody on the phone for 30 minutes the other day, and their order was like $30. You know what I mean? And so I want to make sure that it's not just like a one-time purchase. I want to make sure they're getting, something that they're going to be happy with for a long time that's going to work for their grow. You got to make sure that people are getting, because it's an expensive job. It's an expensive hobby. It's an expensive pastime. You have to make sure that you're getting something that really, really works for you long term,
And let me be clear on that too. Yeah. Left Coast is Left Coast Wholesale. They're not dealing direct. You get to a vendor or a store that deals with Left Coast, and you can get all their products. But as far as product support, as a store owner, I know a new product comes out. Let's say, for instance, you guys have Dynamico on deck now. You have Soil Activator on deck. And there might be something that, I missed in the product spec or when I was interviewing Ari or whatever. And I got my boots on the ground. I'm right here talking to the innovators. I know that I could I could text Amanda or call Left Coast at their toll-free number, and I'm going to get someone on the line that's going to put me, either they'll answer or put me in touch with someone that will be able to answer the question specifically about the product they have. And you don't get that a lot of times. I call some distributors that might have 25,000 SKUs in their catalog, and I ask them a question and I'll use the product name, like product XYZ. Can you help me with that? And they're like, what's the product number? Hold on, I'm not sure about that, or whatever. But Left Coast, you guys are right on top of it.
Yeah, it's a big thing for
absolutely.
us.
And I was joking, Amanda, about being a trimmigrant, but that's not too far from the truth over there. You're a Northern California girl too. You were raised up there, the same kind of hippie vibe going on. Cannabis has been a big part of your life, and you did spend a couple summers in the trimmigrant tent, didn't you?
Yeah, no, totally. We're from there's like the hippie NorCal, then there's like the redneck hippie NorCal, and so that was kind of like my upbringing. My parents, they were smoking, they were hanging out, having fun. So I was always around it, and I was kind of like always meant to fall into this seat. It happened super naturally. I was always meant to be here, and just working with the customers, working with these products. It just all happened on purpose. I was definitely meant to come into this industry.
And even though Left Coast Wholesale has grown to have a plethora of different products, product brands under the Left Coast umbrella, Geopot was really the spearhead, right, Amanda? That's what Left Coast was built on. Tell me a little bit about the Geopot product as it pertains, as it was created.
Yeah, definitely. So, our co-founders, they were growers and they were using other fabric pots because fabric pots are the way to go. Planter boxes, there's all kinds of different methods going straight into the ground. But most up here.
Remind the listeners why fabric pots are the way to go.
Well, you're going to get lots of different benefits. I mean, you're going to be coming out of the ground. Going into ground is great, but you can run into all kinds of issues, like arsenic and other soil, problems that are just, kind of just already inert right into the ground. So coming up out of the ground into a container, you're able to put in, your own soil, your own amendments, a little bit more control. And then getting out of the solid containers into a fabric container, you're going to get all the benefits of aeration, air root pruning, cooler root zone. So there's a lot of benefits to being in the fabric container.
And was this was this a Geopot innovation where we're to use a fabric pot?
Oh no! I mean, fabric pots have been on the market for decades.
Okay.
They've been around a really, really long time, and so the folks that originally started Left Coast were growing in fabric bags, and they were just not the right material, I guess, and they just weren't really happy with the construction of the fabric pot itself. They weren't draining properly. They were falling apart after only a couple of years because they were made with, bad material. They were leaching into the soil. And so they actually, sourced a very specific type of material and literally hand sewed, the first geopots. They made them with square bottoms. They did quad stitching down the side to make it more rigid. They we got the nickname the Gucci pot a few years ago.
Nice.
I like it.
And they were literally selling them out of the back of a van for a long time, to just going up to Humboldt, what pots are you guys using? You should try these. And it was a very, it was a really, really cool start to the company. They didn't just, go mass produce 5,000 pots and, sell them to Friedman's and Ace and all these, big box stores. They went to grows door to door to door and convinced growers to try them out. And 11 years later, here we are.
I like what you said. The quad thick, and I didn't know the reason why, but I've used every fabric pot on the market, from name brands to off-name brands to the imitations to the real ones. I noticed the Geopot, for one, it definitely is and feels more sturdy, and it does stay upright. When I'm transplanting, that is my biggest pet peeve with fabric pots, when they start collapsing and I got to fold it back up to get scoop of my grow medium into the pot over and over. It is more rigid.
Or when you're watering and it folds up on itself and you can't get in there anymore.
Yeah, I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, we actually, this is, they got down to the detail so, so finely with these pots. Even the rim of the geopot, every single one is folded over and sewn again. So the top lip, which is, depending on the size, could be an inch to a couple inches tall, it's doubled over. So there isn't any of that flopping in. There's no medium pouring out. You can, put your irrigation rings right in there. They're really well constructed.
And the fabric, Sean, it does seem a little bit thicker, and it leads me to wonder because, as Heavy Tea on the Heavy Tea Grow Show, we've been doing this a long time, owning shops, understanding the benefits of fabric pots. One of them is air pruning, right? That thicker fabric, does it affect the ability of the plant or the fabric to or the air to prune the root zone?
Yes, it really doesn't, and that kind of comes down to part of the reason why we use this fabric again. This is a non-woven geotextile, so essentially, thousands of layers of this fabric that are all, stacked together. So what you're seeing, and, we have some actually cool pictures. Maybe I'll send them to you sometime, but they're really close-up pictures of the geopot, and you can actually see, sort of the design of the fabric. And what you get then is just like thousands of little air pockets, whereas with like a solid knit or a normal construction like a woven, you would only get, certain air pockets in certain areas. So, I wouldn't say that it, breathes any better, but I certainly wouldn't say it breathes any worse. But, there's definitely the potential there for it to be a little bit better than what you might see normally from traditional fabrics.
And then for the newbies out there and the listeners that are like, what the fuck are Sean and T talking about as far as air pruning? What exactly does that mean?
Yeah. So air pruning is really cool. It was, discovered a while back by a few botanists, I think some tree growers, and they were kind of seeing how, in general, root growth is affected by air. Now there's, some plants that actually grow roots in the air, which is very cool. But for most plants, those are going to be, your general roots are going to be under the soil. And typically plants are going to grow these really long tap roots, right? And those tap roots are going to continue to seek out water wherever they can.
Right.
Now, that's going to send them, further down the pot, further down the media, down to where the water's, draining and collecting. And, what geopot does and what air pruning really does is once the root reaches the edge of that container, since there is air present there, a layer of air as well as a layer of light too, when the root breaks through that, it'll actually send a signal to the plant to stop growing. And what the plant does then in response is sends out sort of like fishbone-like structures, and those are going to be like secondary roots that those are going to help bring up nutrients, bring up water, just overall improve the plant health. So it's really just using something that's inherent in the plant's biology to the grower's advantage, and that's something you can't really get in the ground or in plastic.
I get you, and it's those. It's the fibrous roots, the fibrous roots that come off, and I like the term the fish bone structure or the fish skeleton, because that's what it does look like. Healthy roots are nice and white. You have the one tap root and then feeder roots, and off that finer, it almost looks like a fuzz, but they're fine, very fine hairs off that bringing in, and that's what geopots helps promote. And when you have those, tell me if I'm wrong, it helps bring in not just the water, but the food to the plant. When I use a geopot, Sean, do I end up using less nutrient because of that, or do I need more because the root system is more, or is it just strain specific?
Yeah, it's kind of tough to say, but I would argue that what you're going to be getting is better efficiency. So that's really going to mean like you're going to get overall just like a lower runoff, right, total of your nutrients, because the plant's going to be able to fully and quickly absorb those. This is like a really big thing when it comes to guys running in like cocoa mediums and stuff. They're running like multiple waters a day. That's something where like having that really good developed root structure and being able to water multiple times, with that root aeration you're going to see like really, really good yield increases, potentially from just the container alone. So, when you compare it to, just non-fabric container versus a fabric container, I think you'll be able to see, what those differences are. But in terms of, less or more, it's really hard to say, but I would say that you're going to be getting more bang for your buck and a better yield because you're going to have that higher efficiency, all that nutrient that you're putting in there, all that soluble water transported hydroponic nutrient. is going to be going up into the plant and into your flower sites where you want it to be.
And Amanda, the excess or the extra oxygen flowing through the pot, it's almost like a hydroponic method, right? The roots want oxygen, and that's why people put air diffusers in their water, because first off, water has hardly any oxygen in it, especially at higher temperatures. So they put oxygen in the water so the roots don't drown. But I want to know, I also know in the hydroponic system, sometimes if we add too much air, it can be adverse in that it will bloom certain microorganisms or have a deficit on other microorganisms. With the air pot, being that it's not a water aeration or oxygenation, is there a benefit or a adverse effect to our micros in there?
Well, so, when you're growing in a plastic container, you are dealing with a massive taproot with some feeder roots. And when you're dealing with a fabric pot, the taproots are reaching the edge, they're becoming pruned at the tip, it's promoting more feeder roots, and it's allowing aeration to come through in and out. It's releasing, it's coming in, it's not getting trapped inside. So when you have, your solid plastic containers and you're pumping in aerated water, it can become trapped in, it can bloom or cause blooms, versus a geopot where you're getting the take in and the take out.
And the takeout is what? It's actually a respiration process that helps diffuse that CO2, because something is being produced. If something is taking in oxygen like a living organism, there's going to be something else produced.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta have aeration to your root zone. When you're trapping in water and you're trapping in nutrients and you're not allowing for proper drainage, you're gonna have root rot. You're gonna have all kinds of adverse effects. But you gotta have the proper drainage. So allowing the root zone to breathe properly and drain properly. You gotta have some give and take.
Right. And Sean, you talked about it not being a non-woven surface and thousands of layers of fabric together. I really feel that with the geopot. Yeah, if you touch it, you can
tell.
You can deal with it. Like when I transplant geopots, I got to wear work gloves. My little soft little Southern California hands.
Start getting
Can't
itchy.
even handle it. I get all raw after a couple. I'm like, Jesus. And that's when I call Marcos Pollos, and I'm like, come here. I got burritos for you after this, my amigo. I'm like, let me introduce you to Amanda, our trimagrant. Don't look at her feet.
Hey.
But it is thicker, and even though I guess if air passes through it, I shouldn't be worried about drainage. But I do. Is there a pooling effect? Because it seems like if there's a low point, that because the fabric is thicker, that there would be a pooling effect. Sean, is that ever an issue, or does it flow? The water flow through just like the air?
Yeah, it's not going to pool on you. The best way that I could describe it is, there's like that one viral video going around of this like shower head. I think it's like an ad, but it sprays a bunch of water through like a bunch of air stones, basically, like the ones you'd use in hydro.
Yeah.
And if you can imagine like the current of air, that's more free flowing. With the current of water, it sort of has that surface tension. So it's really going to pull a lot of the water down with it. And with holes and different things like that in pots, like pinholing and things like that, water is going to take that, path of least resistance, really. So it's all going to try and escape through that one area. With the geopot, just because of the design of the fabric alone, you're going to see the water drain out a lot more evenly. And that has to do, not only with the sort of the rigidity of the fabric, but also just the overall design. As that water gets trapped in that, it's going to slowly sort of seep out of the sides, until it hits sort of a tipping point, then where once the medium's fully saturated, you're going to see the water really just drain right out of it. So very hard to overwater with the geopot as well, which I think is really nice. But yeah, you don't get a lot of cooling actually, so it's one of the nicer benefits.
Yeah, it's almost like a sweat almost. It's like, once the first couple times you water with a brand new transplanted geopot, you almost kind of see, water kind of like, not specific spots, a heavy drainage at first, but once your medium gets settled, once the roots start to reach the edge, when you start watering, the sides of the geopot almost just glisten with like an even like sweat almost, and then that kind of puddles towards the bottom and floods right out.
Yeah, if you're washing them in the sink, like you can see it sort of starts to spread out, and then all of a sudden it starts to drain sort of out of all the areas that are getting touched by the water. It's cool.
It is, and okay. So if it drains that well, we're letting oxygen in or airflow. We know airflow has a drying effect as well. Do I have to, or as a grower, am I watering more frequently in a geopot or a fabric pot compared to a plastic or traditional container?
Yes, I mean, like when I go to trade shows before COVID, pre-lockdown, when we actually got to go out and hang out with people and talk about growing, that's like actually, by far my most frequently asked question. And, some people even, say, well, I have to water more often. I don't, maybe I don't want the geopot or another fabric pot, but like you got to flip it. You know what I mean? Like you want to be able to feed, you want to be able to water. If you have a plastic container and, you're only watering like, once a week, I mean, that's not a good thing. You have trapped water, you have trapped nutrients, you have salt buildup. You want to be able to have that water come in, hit the roots, and escape eventually.
I'm a cocoa ninja, right? I use a cocoa perlite mix. So it's a hydroponic method. I water full strength nutrient every single time. And just like that, I want the plant to go through the process of becoming completely saturated, to drying out, to watering again frequently, right? I don't necessarily want to use a smaller grow medium to help facilitate that, and some growers will do that with traditional pots. You want to have a large enough pot to sustain the plant size that you're going to be growing, so it has a nice base, has enough root zone to take up nutrients, but also you want to be able to feed it frequently and heavy, and the fabric pots allows you to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's a good point you made about media too. Is there's so many different media choices out there now, and there's so many different things that you can add into the soil to help improve the water holding capacity and things like that. So the more you dig, the more that geopot really does seem like a good idea. Sure, maybe you do have to water a little bit more, but you can always find some ways to get around that, or just kind of water a little more and maybe get better results too. So it's all a personal preference thing.
Well, Sean, on that same token, when I water and I'm in cocoa and I'm watering heavy nutrient in my fabric pots, my geopots, I will see a buildup of what looks like salt or sweat on the outside, a fine white film. As a grower, I've never had any adverse effects to it, but I do know growers that come into the shops, people that are listening right now, that may be concerned about that they think it's a salt buildup, and they either have to flush or they have to do something to get rid of it. Is that right, or what's going on?
Well, I mean, especially if you're feeding like hydroponic nutrients, probably every fabric container you're going to see a little bit of salt buildup on the outside. Especially if you're doing like a drain to waste. If you're just really having runoff in general, that's where all that water is eventually kind of meeting, and that's basically the last solid it touches. So it's usually nothing to worry about. If you know that your ppms are in your target ranges, your EC's looking good, then it's one of those things. Maybe aesthetically it's not great, but you can always just kind of wipe it off at the end of the season.
You can squirt it off for the photos.
Yeah, so it's not going to affect my grow, but it is. Hey, can someone tell Mark to answer the phones? Hey, they're ringing. Can he please answer the phones? We were paying the screener over here. Sorry, guys. I'm yelling at my staff right now behind us. Our phones are ringing right now with people wanting to talk to you. And
get him, P.
I know. Did we turn on the ringer, or do I got to yell every time I see the little phone icon ringing? This is what I let people know. As long as the transpiration, right, as long as what's coming through is one way, that the salts and the water is flowing one way, it's going from inside the pot outside, you're good. It happens if you have a buildup of salt in or around your grow medium or your saucer, on your pot, and there's an abundance of water that the grow medium dries out and it starts wicking in the water back up, that's where it can pull some of the salts back in. And that's why we use a nice layer of usually like clay rock, gravel, or something at the bottom of our pots. So there's not a wicking. The absorbent part of the grow medium is up out of any potential standing water. And what happens is there's an evaporation out of the saucer around it. And what's good with that, listeners, is in the middle of summer, you're on the hills of Anza or in the mountains of NorCal, it gets hot. And that little bit of evaporation actually has a cooling effect around the plant. So you create a microenvironment where the plants stay a little bit cooler. But you can't let it be wicking back in and absorbing back up in there. And talking about temperature, too. Amanda, tell us about the difference between a plastic pot and a fabric pot as far as root zone temperature.
Yeah, definitely. On average, it depends on where you are, what media you're growing in and all that. But, on average, you're looking at a, 15 degrees cooler temperature difference going from hard plastic to a fabric pot. And when I talk to people about this kind of stuff, because people are like, well, you make black geopots, how is a black pot and a black fabric pot going to be that much different? And it's like, would you walk outside on the beach in the middle of summer, 190 degrees outside wearing a sweater? No, you're going to want to let your skin touch the air. You're going to want to breathe. You're going to want to give yourself some breathing room.
Right.
So, with the air being able to pass through into the root zone and not being in this solid plastic hard container, you're going to see about 15 degrees cooler temperature difference.
You got like a windbreaker on in the middle of summertime, and you're like, this is sick. This is sick. Compared to like if you're out there with a tank top on, you're like, yeah, this is.
You gotta let your skin breathe. You gotta let the roots breathe. You gotta keep things cool and happy.
And I'll let the listeners know as well, if you're able to control the temperature of the root zone on excessively hot days, whether it's outdoors or indoors, if you have a HVAC failure and you're using geopots indoors and you keep your plants hydrated where you're watering them on schedule, that plant, even if you have a failure and the temperature skyrocket because the root zone stays cooler, you're likely to be able to fix that problem with HVAC and not have a death of a plant.
Or it won't mess up as bad.
In a plastic pot, there's nowhere to sweat. Basically, there's nowhere to sweat.
It's cooking.
It's in the oven.
Yeah.
It is. The quality and the durability of these things, you're using them outdoors. I've seen plenty of people with 200 to 1,000-gallon pots on pallets. And I always think, man, those things must be hella durable. Because if I had to change a fucking 1,000-gallon pot every year, I would be pissed. And what's the durability factor? Are these things couple seasons long? How long can I expect them?
They're strong, man. My family personally uses these in, Lake County, California, NorCal. And, they have 400-gallon geopots that I sold to them, and I think it was 2016.
You sold your parents? You didn't just give them the geopots, Amanda, and pay for it out of your check?
They gotta,
She was still on her Trimmigrant salary.
Trimmigrant through and through.
I can't give away, 90 400-gallon pots.
I bet Amanda was the one that stole all the big buds on the mountain, too. It's like, I'm trimming the big buds. You guys trim the bottoms.
Cherry pick.
You're a cherry picker for sure.
No.
Yeah, and I don't pick my nose, sure. But you're saying, so they've used these huge pots for how long?
Yeah. No, I think they got them in 2016. So, we're coming into 2021 season now. And I won't lie, they start to bow out, they're looking a little pregnant, but they are holding their shape pretty well. And they're going on their 6th year and they're full of soil. They've had so many plants in them. You can get on that size, you can get at least 4 years with totally straight edges on them. And, come 5th, 6th year, they start to kind of bow out a little bit. But even the bottoms and the sides, they're not bursting. They don't start, the seams are not fraying. They can definitely use these for another 2 years, which is incredible, for a fabric container holding that much soil.
Sean, what is the specific makeup of these pots that allow them to last that long? Because, anything sits out in the sun. Your car sits out in the sun, and the paint becomes oxidized and stuff. What is the makeup of these that last so long?
Yeah, so, the fabric itself is UV stabilized. So, aside from it being it's very thick and it's very fray resistant as well. You might see a little fuzzing after a few years, but the internals of the fabric really hold up very well. And that's even in that really intense sun exposure, the UV stabilization really helps that. Just makes it so, even if it's sitting out there 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day in the sun, it's going to be able to hold up no matter what because all that stuff is treated. So, but yeah, I mean it's really just the construction overall, and then the actual makeup of the fabric is really what kind of sets it apart.
Right, and I get the 400-gallon growers like I was talking about. We leave them out there. Like I have huge fabric pots in my backyard that I use as beds for my vegetables every year. My medical gardens and stuff, I use smaller pots, smaller plants, smaller pots. I like to mix up my own super soils. I change it season to season. I'll use the same soil throughout the season and remediate, but I go back and I'll clean my pots. And sometimes, I mean, my workers and stuff, they'll talk about, hey, let's just throw some bleach on this. Let's throw some peroxide on this. I'll go to the laundromat and throw them in there. I don't give a fuck. Or no, they try to throw them in the washing machine at the spot. No, at the spot. And you're like, nah, dog, you going to the laundromat with this shit. You trying to fucking clog up my pipe, sucker? Come on, this is a septic system. Get the fuck out of my face. But what is the correct way to clean them and reuse them?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a number of ways. My personal favorite is with OxyClean and the washer. That's definitely the easiest. It helps beforehand if you really just take off as much dirt as possible, whether it's shop vac, just give it a good shake, anything helps really. But if you don't have a washing machine, you can even just throw the OxyClean in there and let them soak for like 24 hours, and that'll really help kind of lift all the dirt out and gives it a little sterilization as well. And from there, you can just rinse it. I've even seen people, with a pressure washer, just turn it inside out and, just let it rip. So there's a lot of different ways, and they'll hold up to pretty significant pressure from the pressure washer. I don't know if I'd put one right over the hose, but you can definitely sit there and give them a good blast, and they'll be all good to go. So hydrogen peroxide is pretty good too. That's really OxyClean has I think it's like a bicarbonate or percarbonate in it or something that breaks down, creates those oxygen bubbles, and lifts the stains out. So in this case, it's just lifting the dirt from in between the layers, and I kind of like it because it's a little bit slower, so it has kind of a slow burn effect, but it really pushes everything out eventually. So,
right on, and by doing that, we clean out any potential harmful bacterias or anything that may be accumulating or had it. I mean, even if someone's in a geopot, we know growers still donk stuff off and use the wrong things over water, let it sit in standing water. All different types of weird things. You water it or you clean it out correctly, you sterilize it, and you're good to go. You save that money going in, and like Amanda said, you're good for 3-4 years maybe. But with everything and the geopods, how far they've come, there's a lot of different variations. I've even seen them with Velcro on the side, with handles and different colors. Tell me about the variations, Amanda, and why they're important to know about.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have the geopot, obviously, and something that makes those unique. In I think 30-gallon and under, we do the square bottoms. We do the cross stitch when we sew in the handles, so they're really strong. On our brochure, the 45 gallons are filled with soil and they're being held up by a forklift by their handles. So they're really, really strong, super robust. And we took that, that same strength and we applied it into a planter format. Some people really do appreciate and prefer the square style of planters, for greenhouses or just,
the living soil people love it. The probiotic guys love it. They want to create a bed and they want all the cover crops they can get. And,
I mean, and our geoplanters, I mean, they're awesome. They come with, they have the whole PVC frame. They have all the same traditional thickness of material. They have, trellis kits you can put on top of them. I mean, if you, look at some of these, high-end growers or, I mean, on Instagram, you can see all kinds of different operations, people doing vertical trellising, multi-layers, helps to keep the flower from getting too low to the ground. And I mean, we've got the tans, there's definitely, all different kinds out there for every operation. There's an economical version, the G Light. Maybe you don't want to reuse the bag for 5 years. Maybe you just want to, keep getting new rounds every season and want to save time on labor and stuff, with the washing. So we have that, also available.
Well, with the new low coming down, I'm reusing all my pots. Maybe back when we were getting $3,200 a pound, but now that we're down to 18, fuck that. I'm reusing my pots. Every dollar, right? Make you holla.
Yeah, I've always been on the reusable side, but, we get these, we get the requests. They need, a couple thousand pots, and, you got to keep costs down where you need to sometimes, but, the geopots are great for reusing, absolutely.
Let me give you a term you can use here. When people call in and they're like, Amanda, I can reuse them, but I think I'm just going to toss them away. This is what you say. I ain't mad at you. Well, how many more pots you need? Here we go. We got you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all.
People they got their budget. They have a certain amount set aside for containers and soil and lights, and I'm not here to argue. What do you need?
Yep. And nowadays, geopots, a couple other brands were on the scene with fabric pots in our industry. From almost the get-go, from as long as I've pretty much been in the industry of as far as on hydro shop owner, distributor, show host, all of those things. But nowadays, every distributor and everything seems to have some type of fabric pot that is either, a different color, a different gimmick, like a zipper, a spring, or something like that. And tell us, Sean, how does a geopot compare to the competitors' brands?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely not just another fabric pot, and I think that really stands out when you start to use them. I mean, just the quality of construction alone is something that right away you put it in your hand, you're like, all right, this is awesome. And, we've really done the research to, hit the right place in terms of affordability for the grower, as well as, the functionality. So, we're really getting all the good benefits of a porous pot, right, out of what we're making here. But I think what you're going to find is, in general, you're going to see better material integrity, things like that over time. But really what it comes down to, I think, is the overall improved yields and just the performance of the pot in the little areas, the finer details, like you mentioned, how the water drains out. Things like that are things that I think, growers really appreciate when they grow with the pot. So, there's a million things to love, I think, with fabric pots in general, but for ours, I really do feel like some of the attention to detail is really kind of what makes the pot stand out in terms of what you get as a grower. We're growers ourselves, and these are really made for growers as well. So we really want people to have the best products when they're going in and growing their medicine or doing whatever they're doing.
Well, you and I are growers,
Yeah.
but Amanda's just trimming over there. So.
Well, and I kind of, if I may, I'd like to add to,
oh, you may, girl. You
to
may.
To Sean's notes, and through the years that I've been, on the road and going to stores and visiting grows and checking out different brands, and something that I really, really, really appreciate about our company is that we stick to the original, material. A lot of the other brands out there that we've seen are, a polyester base. And yes, it's inexpensive. Yes, it looks strong. But, you give it a couple of years in the sun or under some lights and they disintegrate. And so ours is a, geotextile polypropylene. It's not the cheap, inexpensive polyester stuff that you see on the market. And, that I think also helps to just withstand the years and the abuse that these pots take. And, there's some handling that goes on with these things. And I think that our material choice that we really stick to, it keeps them going, year after year.
Well, I can appreciate that. But I did see during the pandemic, because as owning a shop owner, we have several different brands because we got to have whatever people want. It's got to be in stock, right? But I saw, and this isn't just in the fabric pot sector of our industry. It was throughout. I saw it in grow mediums that the texture of the grow medium was changing. it seemed like during the pandemic, resources and raw materials were sometimes unobtainable, but to keep sure the ball kept rolling, companies were substituting different fabrics, different inputs, and you would get something and it wasn't what it was supposed to be. But I noticed with Geopot, when we needed some, and even though it was a banger year, you're like, hey, listen, right now we're having a little hard time getting this, and you're not going to substitute some bullshit just to make a sell of a fabric pot.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'd rather tell somebody, hey, man, I'm not going to have this till April. I might miss your your planning session, but we're not going to just go make some, knockoff pot that we don't stand behind. I mean, that's why we test everything. We've been, everything is BPA, heavy metal free. We go through like the most scrutinous testing to keep our pots like to the highest standard. And, you're right. I did see a lot of companies, kind of try to pass a couple different ingredients or material changes under some growers and hope that it works out. But, that's not what we're about. That's why I've been with these guys for almost 9 years. The integrity of the company a lot to me because my family, we grow. I've been in grow ops, since I was in high school.
Trim ops.
People out, and I've seen it. What happens when pots fail, like a 400-gallon pot that disintegrates after a year. That's devastating.
Yes.
You got to go replace the whole garden, and you got to get the soil. You got to fix everything. I mean, and it happens really fast. When you have a container that just starts to break down, and it happens, in the blink of an eye. And we don't want to be a part of that. We want to be, one of the stronger foundations of somebody's garden.
I can appreciate that. Everything, I'll be honest, and I'm talking about a grower, not just as a host. Guys, everything that we get from Left Coast Wholesale, just like Amanda and Sean are giving us the no bullshit version, it's high quality. You guys know Purpinator and Terpinator. It's a staple in every quality growers, both commercial or recreational or home, whatever it is. If you want the best, you're using that. Geopot's the same thing. They bring the same quality. They don't have gimmicks. They may try something out. If it doesn't work, they shelve it. And one thing that did work for you guys, Sean, though, is for the growers trying to ball on a budget was the G Lite line. And the G Lite is, I guess it stands for Geopot Light, but it's slightly different, but we're not cutting corners. It's helping the guy that's trying to ball on a budget still use a quality fabric pot.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Burners need love too, and that's kind of what we did with G Lite. It was really to, give somebody who may be growing at a really large scale, maybe somebody's blowing up a spot and they're just looking for something quick and dirty, but still, with the quality that they expect and, the good qualities that they need in a fabric pot. That's kind of where the G Lite comes in. It's a really straightforward, awesome product for people growing at scale. We see a lot of people, those come in a few smaller sizes because those tend to be more for our indoor guys,
right.
And the guys running the hydro. So, but we do have them now. We have an XL version as well that goes all the way up to 200 gallons. So,
oh shit.
If you're looking for, a quick outdoor pot, but you still want something that's going to last you, a decent amount of time out there, the G Lite XLs are definitely a great option, and the price is like really hard to beat on that for a 200 gal. I don't know it off the top of my head, but.
Right, well, let me tell you over here, I got it in front of me. Just G Lite series pots are typically about 40% lower in cost compared to the Geopot, and last, at least 2 to 3 uses, or even longer if you take care of them. So the G Lite, the Geopot, available in all different sizes. Go to geopot.com. Follow at Geopot Fabric Containers on Instagram. Follow at Left Coast Wholesale. Let me give you Amanda's home number here. It's 707. Oh, no? All right. Sorry, Amanda. I won't do that. No, but guys, Left Coast Wholesale doing it up, doing it right. I've got the phone lines are lit up. People have been holding for a while. We got some callers from New York, Ohio, and California. Let's see. We got a call about terpenes out here. Sean, as a grower, you want to take some grow questions with us?
Yeah, I'd be happy to sit in.
All right. Real quick, let's go to Jordan in California. He's got a terp question. Jordan.
Hello.
Hello, Jordan. You're on the air with Left Coast Wholesale.
What's good, homies?
Good, man. How you been?
How you doing?
Great. Thanks, guys.
What's going on tonight?
So, just chilling. My question is Terpinator a PGR? And the second part to that question is, does it leave a film over the trichomes?
Oh, damn.
Damn.
This fool has drunk the Kool-Aid. All right. Well, Sean, is Terpinator a PGR, and does it filminize the trichomes?
Yeah, it's definitely not a PGR, and I haven't seen any trichome films for me, so I'm definitely going to say no there. Terpinator is really cool because it does work with the plant naturally. It's basically giving the plant everything it needs, all those building blocks to be able to create those trichomes and terpenes, and that's kind of why it doesn't really have any effect so much on the outside of the plant as the inside. It's stored right there in the leaves. And those trichomes, they're actually connected right into the central layers of the top cells there. So the epidermal layers, they actually go through those, and they're connected to some of the cell sap. And that's where you're going to see the transport of all that in there, really just feeding those active terpene production sites, which are your glandular trichomes. So, yeah, no PGR action there. If it was, they'd probably have to say that. So don't know of any growers who have ever failed a PGR test using Terpinator either, and we've got tons of legal farms using it. So if there is PGRs, that's definitely news to us, and we can say it's definitely not. So
right, it's compliant for all your commercials for the Bureau of Cannabis Testing, all of that. That you're going to make sure that you're all good, as well as that the filming of it, no filming of it.
Yeah, I want to know where he read that.
Black Market Cultivators, Big Jack, when I do use Terpinator, I see a swelling of the trichomes, like they're more pronounced. I guess if you didn't know what you're looking at, if you're growing a bunch of mids your whole life, you thought, wait, my trichomes are filmed.
So these guys are looking at it with a microscope before using
Maybe Jordan
Terpinator.
just sucks at growing.
Because they overanalyze every grow. And then when they start to use Terp they look at it with a microscope, they're like, man, there's a film on my trichomes. And really just their trichomes are fully developed now.
They just finally saw trichomes.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, what are these like heads on my leaf here in my bud?
I just put it in a Mylar bag and call.
Yeah, and call it Jordabs. We know what you do, Jordabs. Jordan, I'm going to send you some geopots, my friend. I'm also going to send you some of the brand new soil activator. It will help with nutrient uptake and also water uptake, and some of the Terpinator. We have a brand new way to claim your prizes. If you had received a prize previously and for some reason you did not receive it, you go to prize claim at dfcradio.com. You enter your information and make sure that you use the name and phone number that you called under, and we will get everything out to you and contact you directly. We run into problems like that, Big Jack.
Well, you saw why earlier in the
people
show.
use the fake name, and I send it out, and they're like, oh, no, this says DFC Radio. Reject. And it comes back to me. I'm like, no.
I always got to blame Manny.
They said, I moved. I moved in the last week. What the fuck you mean you moved?
You sent it to the wrong address because I moved.
You mean your baby's mama stopped accepting your mail because she's mad at you?
Or the address comes back fake.
Yeah.
Like that address don't exist.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
like, well, that's where I was staying.
Exactly. Hey, Jordan, thanks for calling in, man. All right, same to you, buddy.
Bye, Jordan.
I had him on hold already.
Bye, Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan's, he's one of those guys that he turns all of his herb into extract because it's not good enough to smoke in its natural state.
Well, it's because he's got that film on his.
Trichome film.
Squeeze it out.
On that trichome film, my man. Oh, my man. Hey, guys, we got to take a quick break to pay these bills, but I want to thank both Amanda and Sean for coming on, talking about geopots. We're going to have geopots the rest of this year to give out, so if you call in with a grow question, you're going to be getting hooked up with geopots, with the Terpinator, with the Perpinator. They also distribute the Garden Spray, a fantastic all-natural insecticide, fungicide that can be used in your garden almost up until the day of harvest. They now have Dynamical, the Earth Alive Soil Activator, so many great things. If you're a store and you're not carrying Left Coast wholesale products, You should be. Contact them to get your account open as soon as possible. Ask for the Trimigrant Amanda, and she will expedite your application. And if you need any help too, if your hydro store can't answer your questions, Left Coast Wholesale is there to help you get the answers and provide answers about their products.
Listen up.
They're easily approachable and easy to talk to, just like you heard tonight. Amanda, Sean, thank you very much for coming on.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, T, it was good talking with you guys tonight. Thanks for having us on.
All right, guys. Well, we hope to get you in studio soon once all this bullshit is over with, and we'll roll up a fat one and we'll actually pass it around without any concern.
Yeah.
That's what I can't wait for. Thanks to the whole crew at Left Coast Wholesale and your time tonight, guys.
All right, guys. Peace. Thank you.
All right, bye. Bye. It's Heavy T's Grow Show on DFC Radio. Call in 562-653-0707. We're coming back with wide open phone lines, answering your grow questions and hooking you up. We'll be right back.
You gon' do if you are unaware, you have nothing to fear. Get a good vibe, what you gon' do? We pull up anywhere cause we want to. We just turning up the party like we supposed to. If you are unaware, my people do not care. Have a good time is what you gonna do. We just pull up anywhere cause we want to. We just pull up anywhere cause we want to. If you are
look at my bitch, about to cook up. We got what you need, we got all them trees, yeah. The Olo is extinct, new low on them bees, yeah. We smoking that hash bar, thought I told you. Growing money over here for the whole crew. Got honeys over here, we really do not care. We just pull up to the party, bring that dro through.
Get it. We pull up anywhere cause we want to. We just turning up the party like we supposed to. If you are unaware, my people do not care. Have a good time, is what you gonna do. We just pull up anywhere cause we want to. We just pull up anywhere cause we want to. If you are unaware, my people do not care. We just pull up anywhere cause we want to.
DFCRadio.com.
Love that money.
Heavy T Grow Show, baby.
Hey, are you all right?
I don't know, man. I am freaking out. I think I'm having a bad trip, bro.
A bad trip? Things look fine to me. Looks like you just transplanted your girls into some happy hippie garden mix from Sanctuary Soils.
So I'm not freaking out?
Oh, you're freaking out all right, and I would be too. That's no ordinary potting soil you've got there. That's a premium organic blend that includes composted forest material, peat moss, perlite, pumice, lava rock, some of the best worm castings available, humic shale ore, dolomite lime, azomite, soy meal, and gypsum.
That's a lot of stuff. Did you just read all that? You just blew my mind, man.
It's a lot of good stuff that you can only find in an organic, natural mix like Happy Hippie.
So what you're saying is, with Happy Hippie Garden Mix, I shouldn't panic because it's organic?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that, and you shouldn't either. Although I guess you aren't wrong. Here's the deal. You aren't having a bad trip, bro. This is all great news. You're providing your plants with everything they need to get off to an incredible start.
So I can't taste colors then?
No. But you will taste and see the difference in your fruits and flowers now that you're using Happy Hippie Garden Mix from Sanctuary Soil. For more information, you should check out bulksoil.com.
So you're big time, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
Don't you put that evil on me!
Heavy T.
Hey man, your garden smells amazing this year. What are you doing different?
Haven't you heard? We've been using the Turpinator.
Did you say Turpinator like terpenes?
Yes, exactly. Turpinator is designed to increase your plant's terpenes, which are responsible for everything from how your plants smell to how much flavorful oils they produce. Basically, Turpinator is the one-stop shop for an overall quality increase for your fruits and flowers.
That's awesome. You know, I can tell the Turpinator has not only increased the oils in all your herbs and flowers, but it looks like it's going to increase your dry weight as well. And dude, don't even get me started on those crystals. They look like mini icebergs.
Well, you better hurry up and get on board. It's flowering season right now. And since Turpinator is made right here in Sonoma County, you can literally find it in any hydro store in town. Boost your plant's oils and bring out flavors that will drive your friends wild. Turpinator. Sticky is an understatement.
Heavy T hooked me up, man. Thanks.
That's right.
Hey, I'm in the zone!
Coming to grips with measuring pH is a fundamental part of ensuring a successful crop. Of course, having the right nutrient mix is important, but without a slightly acidic pH level, plants won't receive optimal benefits from the nutrients supplied. Blue Lab has a range of pH measurement tools available to help both the commercial and small-scale growers. These include the Blue Lab Guardian Monitor, the Blue Lab Combo Meter, the Blue Lab pH Meter, the Blue Lab pH Pen, and the Blue Lab Soil pH Meter. For more information, visit us online at getbluelab.com.
That's Horty's Pimpin' 101.
Hey, yo, this is Spanky Hayes, motherfucking Spanky Hayes, funny motherfucking Spanky Hayes. Shout out to DFZRadio.com.
Cause I always got that 425. Man, I got so high I couldn't even drive. Look at what I did by 25, nigga. Dizzy OG think I we alive. Cause I always got that 425. You know I got it. I always got that 425. You know I got it, nigga. You know I keep that 425. Blaze one with me then. Dizzy OG think I we alive. Hey, Dizzy OG all up in my paper. Hey, but is he right about to run for mayor? Whoa. Started my label, now they think I'm giving out favors. Too bad, a couple niggas that I used to fuck with turned into haters. Don't be hitting my line, cause I ain't got the time. I told you once, nigga don't front online. I know what the fuck you want. Seeing through these fools, mad cause I make their girlfriend booty move. With my G ways, I'm just too damn cool. Nigga, what life do to you? Hey, looking mad at me. I be smoking, I be mad happy. I don't really worry about these niggas that be making comments, throwing jabs at me. Dab hat, feeling dab happy with the 425. Hey, I love Vegas for the 24/7 side. You can see that I always got that 425. Man, I got so high I couldn't even drive. Look at what I did by 25, nigga. Dizzy OG think I we alive. Cause I always got that 425. You know I got it. I always got that 425. You know I got it, nigga. You know I keep that 425. Blaze one with me then. Dizzy OG think I we alive. Hey.
Word around town is heavy down the road. They ain't never lied. All my bitches fly. April 25. Yeah, that's right. Bitch, I feel like Pac. Circa 95. Screaming death to all my haters. We can't let it slide. Bitch, I'm about to ride. Suicide. It's a suicide. Fucking with the squad. Never televised. Pray to stay alive. Play your lane or test your luck again.
Marcos comes back in the studio, immediately steals the joint pre-roller. Talks with complaining that we don't have food.
He said he should cook. I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah,
I'm hosting. Someone else needs to cook.
I know. Send him to cook right now.
The funny thing is that you took that as a complaint for that he's complaining about food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he
he's
said all
complaining.
he did was come up with a great idea and say we should have a grill.
I will pay. I will
What,
pay
have
for
you-
the hibachi
Jerome
grill.
used to eat on the
He
air.
starts
It's like,
cooking every Wednesday.
it makes horrible radio to
We
eat
weren't
while we're
gonna
on the
eat-
radio.
I was
Upwards,
talking about
I'll
us
pay
eating.
up to $40.
So what was the great idea about letting Mark eat? Oh yeah, that's great.
Well,
idea.
we could have something to eat before or
Korean
after.
barbecue, bro. Get the griddle. I'll hit H Mart. Get all the fancy little
Yeah.
beef slices.
Yeah,
Korean
yeah,
barbecue.
yeah.
Up,
H
dog.
Mart,
Get some
tomato.
Italian sausages.
Get that.
Some marinated pollo.
Get that Korean barbecue beef.
Some pork belly.
Bulgogi.
Short rib.
Oh, let's go to Gordon Ramsay. BMC was telling me he has a beef with someone.
Yeah, we're gonna get him to talk about it.
Got big beef. What up, Gordon Ramsay?
Yo, what's up, big guys? How we doing?
Good. How you feeling?
Alive, can't complain. How you doing?
You know,
We're good.
same thing.
So are you gonna tell us about your Insta beef?
There's no beef, only tofu.
Insta tofu.
Damn.
Oh
What's
yeah.
up,
So is
bro?
that a fake? Is that a fake?
No,
Or is that a substitute? It's a substitute for beef.
He was telling me
Yeah,
today.
pretty much.
Somebody was talking
Send him some
smack.
CRC and ruin his banger.
Yeah, they charged your banger. You got to tell us the story.
yeah. I got gifted. Literally, like practically begged me to gift me something. Right? I don't even want to talk about it, but whatever. Let's go. Old cat's out of the bag. I offered to donate. So whatever. I end up getting a fucking 3XL filthy ass shirt full of cat hair stains, jizz stains. You name it, it's on there. Right? I still got that shit unwashed in a little corner in my room.
It's gonna start growing.
I'll take a picture later. But so I go, I buy a banger, a little China glass banger, whatever, $20. I go get my little turp pearls, everything. My first dab, and that shit turns black as fuck. I was like, maybe it's too hot. I cold started it, black as fuck, like to the point where it's like soot. And I'm like, yo, this shit is labeled live resin, you know, and it's like some BHO batter fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? And, like, I'm supposed to be happy with it. I'm supposed to, you know what I mean? I said thank you, you know what I mean? But I'm supposed to, like, kiss your ass or something like that, you know? Like, you didn't do me a favor, bub. You know, like, you poisoned me, basically, you know? Like,
Hey, bub,
giving
you
me that
poisoned me.
shit and put it into my lungs, you know? I should fight you, you know?
Yeah, poisoned you, charged your banger, and gave you a cat hair T-shirt.
Yeah, fucking
Straight
bub.
up, bro. Straight up. The fucking, I think the material was the worst thing, bro. I should have took a picture of it or something, but it was terrible.
Oh well. You know.
Yeah, and I hate mids. I hate mid. Like, you know, I'd rather pay the extra and get. I would have rather paid and got something good, you know, than some garbage.
Yeah,
you
no
know?
one wants to smoke mids.
I mean, but how do you overcome that living in New York? Isn't it just like mids town?
I've been dry since 2018.
There's just nothing but mids.
He ain't smoking.
I'm on full blown boycott, bro. I'm no joke.
Oh man.
Last time I bought a unit was 2018 in December of GG, indoor GG4, which was really, really good.
Back when there was
At the
fire.
time, you know.
That was
yeah.
exotic back then.
It's fuck,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, right before everything got fucked up.
I'll smoke some Gorilla Glue right now, dog.
I used to
Gorilla
like
Glue
that
is
thing.
bomb.
Lit off some.
It just
Gorilla
got
Glue.
fucking. It got played out. It
Yeah,
wasn't the
shit
purpose.
got watered down to the point where it became like OGs, you know, like, oh, I got my OGs, you know, the outdoor OGs, you know, that's what Gorilla Glue became now. Like, just that umbrella term, you know?
Yep. I feel you.
Like Asian gelatos, runs type shit like that, you know?
Yep, that's exactly what's in those Mylar bags too. We all know it.
Yeah, bro, you should see what they go for out here.
All right, well, let me know. Get me in the DM.
Slide.
I could buy some Mylar shit.
Yeah.
I'll say
Shit,
I own a
bro,
grocery
fucking
store.
you better,
I got
bro.
Mylar by the roll. I'll just staple some together.
We got vacuum
I'll
sealers right
staple
here.
it. We'll slap some
Get it
staples,
back
get
to
it
you,
sealed
just
up.
do it yourself.
Yeah, well, I'll
Yeah,
do it.
We'll staple it and vacuum seal it.
Why not?
Head up the sticker farmer, you know what to do.
Allegedly.
So, what's your grow question tonight, Gordon?
Not really a grow question. I call just to gather and retain information, you know, because if I'm going to grow, I want to do it properly. I don't want to put more mids out there. So, you know, I still have whatever you guys send me. I got like 2 pots and like some like molasses type syrup that my cat fucking chewed up the bottle and started eating and shit like that. So I had to replace it into something. But you know, I just don't want to go half-assed and come out with a product that I'm not happy with. You know what I'm saying? Like back to square one.
Right. All right.
Yeah,
so how can we help you do that? You want to, don't grow mids. Get some good genetics.
Pretty much don't grow mids. Encourage everybody to stock up on Terpinator and Perpinator. Get that shit real exotic looking and, you know, grow full term. But stop fucking growing your shit premature and no cure, hang dry, send out just, you know, to other states just to custody somebody.
Well, what's the deal on the East Coast right now? The East Coast brokers, what do they consider exotic? So anything with color? Anything in a Mylar bag?
Anything purple, anything fruity, anything in a bag, anything is exotic at this point. It's like a manufactured drought. It's a man-made drought. They're sitting with pounds to the fucking ceiling of like Asian bubbas and like plaids and stuff like that. You know, like just generic bullshit, and they're calling it exotic just because they put it in a Mylar, charging like $150 a Q. You know, if you're lucky. What? You know, I'm like, yo, keep the bag, charge me less. I'm good.
What? I'm selling zips out here for $150. You mean $150
a quarter? Yeah.
A 7, yeah, a 7. It's like that go broke smoke, you know? Like, I used to just buy a unit of whatever was best. I didn't want a O with this, a O with that, and a O with that. I just wanted whatever was one of the best, you know? And I soon break it down and smoke it and do whatever I please with it, you know what I mean? But now it's to the point where I have such buyer's remorse after making a deal that, like, I feel like I got robbed, so I'd just rather not smoke.
Yeah, you get mad about it, just like you did about your Chaz banger. And it sounds like you just need to take a deep breath.
Take that shit personal.
And it sounds like you're living in like an episode of The Sopranos. You're ready to whack some motherfuckers, dog. Yeah, you sound like a
I'm ready. I'm ready to fucking catch a body, bro. Put a dude on ice, sleep with the fishes.
Oh man. Well, Gordon, listen, we're gonna help you out because you shouldn't be buying the shit. You should be growing your own, no matter where you're at. And even if the county, the state, the cities, for anyone out there, isn't favorable for growing your own, be an activist. Right now is a time in history that
still grow your own.
Be on the right side of history. You know,
don't let them tell you
join
what
an
to do.
organization, or just talk to your friends and family about it. There's different ways to be activists for the plant, but no matter what, maintaining the right to grow our own in a legal market is paramount to the us having our freedom as Americans, but also maintaining the culture and what built this industry and all those things. Like, no, not everyone wants to buy a store-bought strawberry. They want to grow their own strawberries. Why the fuck is cannabis any different? It should be regulated just the same as strawberries or tomatoes. It shouldn't be this thing that, I'm still going to get my door knocked down if I'm not spending $300 a zip at a legal dispensary, you know. And
that's not fair.
It ain't right. But Gordon, I appreciate you calling in and waiting so long, man. And I'm sorry about your banger, dude. If I had a banger, I'd send you one. But I am going to send you some geopots and some other stuff from Left Coast Wholesale.
Yeah.
Some stuff to get you all started when you're good to go. Now, check it out. We have a new prize claim section on DFC Radio's homepage right there at the top. Go click on prize claim, enter in your information with the phone number that you called in on tonight so we can verify that. That's your verification. And get your info there, and that will let us generate a pack slip and send it directly to you, brother. And you can put in your email, too, and it'll give you a tracking number once it ships.
Beautiful. Yo, guys, have a beautiful night. Take it easy. Thank you. God bless. All right, be safe.
Same to you, my man.
Peace.
And Gordon sounds like a pretty all right guy, Jack. All those
I was ready for something completely different.
All that gnarly stuff you said about him was not true.
You still like him, even after all that I said.
Yeah. You're like, this guy's a weirdo. I don't know why he's stalking me on the show.
He's calling the show Jesus.
First off, he's in my DM. Now he's calling the show that I promoted in my social media. I guess that's all right. Did I put the phone number to call in? Fuck, my bad. Oh shit! Hey, Dutch, did you hear our interview with Amanda and Sean?
I heard parts of it.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Only the good ones.
Only the good
like
parts.
how you like broke it down to her how she's supposed to get customers to buy bags from her her spiel.
Yeah, I don't hate
how many
shit.
bags you need.
Yeah, boy, how many bags you need? You know, and once you're done with that, I can hook you up with a cheap trim crew.
Yeah, and then
they speak English.
And then of course that part that you just never let go, that she was a trim beginner. So,
I mean, dude,
that part's funny.
I once
don't tell Heavy T anything.
Well, tell me everything. I will use it against you.
There you go.
Como que no? Oh, right. Oh, you got the prize claim up there?
Yeah.
Let's show us how you claim your prize over here, Saint.
All right, so you got to agree that you are 21.
Oh, are you 21? Yeah. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Right here. See this?
Oh, that
Right.
button that says, what does it say? Claim prize.
Claim that motherfucking prize.
All right, claim it. Let's see you
How
claim
far
it.
back can they claim a prize?
All right, so this is what they see in here.
Oh, so you go there and it's a free thing and you add it to the cart so you can enter in your info. It costs you nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just buy it now, unless you're gonna do some extra shopping or whatever.
Yeah, because it's actually attached to our Hydro Shop website, so you can actually buy other stuff with it if you want.
Okay, so I'm here.
But I don't think we have anything else on there because we haven't loaded
We
up
do.
the products.
Oh, there's
yet.
stuff on there.
Oh, yeah, we got stuff. All right.
And then you describe your
And you gotta
prize.
fill out your information here, and if you use the express checkouts, whatever, they'll put a lot of your information in there. But you need to make sure that your email and the phone number, your name and phone number are the most important things. They need to be just exactly what you said too.
Well, and your address so it could
Well,
go to you.
that is on you. But if you don't
Not
get
on me, it's on
verified-
them.
Yeah, and that's what I meant. You know, not you exactly, because you wouldn't be calling in. But if you, if your phone number and name are not correct, and the screener checks that gets thrown out instantly. So it doesn't even get to the part where you look at the address.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're checking this stuff. They're not just shipping free prizes to everybody.
So that's how it works now.
So you have an option to pick up as well?
Oh yeah, and that you just set that, and then that will let you know that you can come to the shop and get it. It'll let the guys know here that the prize needs to be packed up and that you'll be coming.
Pick up or ship. Is it only pick up there, Dutch?
No, it's pick up or ship.
So there's
there you
ship
go.
right there.
Good. Go ahead and put Jack's home address on there.
I'm glad that the first time you're seeing this and we're reviewing it is live on the show.
How far back can they claim a prize? Like if they're saying, "Well, I didn't get mine from 2012."
Well, if they put their phone number in, that's how I could track it. Because most of the time, people are like, I'm like, what name and date did you call in? I don't know, like 3 weeks ago. And you go 3 weeks ago, and you're like, okay, there's no one by that name. They put their phone number, and you could put in the notes, too. I called on this date or around this time, and it'll be easy to find.
Nice.
It's all written down and tracked.
Everyone's always gotten their prize. But I think once I heard someone
So
say
most
they
of the
didn't
time
get
that people don't receive it is that it gets sent out and it comes back to us. So this is going to help eliminate any errors as far as what
Marcos
they put in.
Podius is what he's hearing versus what you're saying.
Well, and dude, it's like people don't know it's coming, so it shows up because we don't take the email with this. They're gonna put their email into the shopping cart, and it's going to give you a tracking so you know when it's coming. Because we spend $10-15 to ship it, and it comes back to us, and then people are like, oh, I never got it, and we ship it again. Sometimes it happens 2 or 3 times, dude, and by the time we end up spending $100 and they still didn't get it, and they're pissed. This puts it on you guys as listeners to enter in your correct information. That way, you know, it's easy for us. It's easier for you. It generates the pack slip. So making life easier so you can get hooked up with free shit on Heavy T. Speaking of prize winners, longtime listener, several-time caller, an OG Duff Free Soldier from the state of Ohio. We got Smokey. How about them Browns beating the Steelers? You didn't go far, but after that,
baby, not once but twice. I don't hear Horty. Do you?
No one hears Horty anymore. We put him in a basement in Michigan. He's over there growing.
Yeah,
he's growing those
his
mids.
ass off fucking doing donuts in a parking lot in his Audi.
I know. I can't believe that you guys even let him get that close to Ohio. You're gonna have to ship him back.
Horty's good people, man. He's all good. But how you been, T, man? The true OG. How you doing out there?
We're doing all right. Just keeping our head up, trying to stay healthy, trying to keep the kids healthy, talking shit to each
I
other
feel
on
it, man.
Wednesdays. You know.
Well, it's good to still hear you guys are rocking it out there, man. I love listening to you as always.
I appreciate
I've had a question on my mind, and I kind of feel like I know what the answer is going to be, but I want to ask you guys anyway.
Okay.
I just kind of switched from double-ended to the LED game.
Okay.
And usually when I'm in the room and I'm doing my thing in the room, feeding, getting ready for the lights to come on, boom, the lights kick on. I got like 8 to 10 LED lights coming on at one time, and that shit is intense as fuck. When you're in a dark ass room and them lights kick on, they don't kick on like HPS's where it's like a slow, like a slow go to like a full max,
right?
Strength. So them LEDs, man, they hurt my eyes. So I'm just like wondering, is it shocking the plants? Is it stressing them out? Do you think there's something to do for that? I mean, I know some of them have a dimmer, but I'm not going to personally dim 10 lights by hand.
Well, you can get a controller that can dim them. If they're Gavitas, use the EL1 or EL2. If they're not, you can get a Troll Master and connect most lights up to the Troll Master that will have a soft start effect, simulate sunrise, simulate sunset. Right. Talking about hurting your eyes, and I could tell you for sure that the lights aren't hurting the plant's eyes because they don't have eyes. So, but dude, it is.
The oracles on the eyes, like they search out for light in the darkness. So I'm just wondering, is it shocking anything, or is it completely cool, no stress, no worries with the LEDs like
if
that?
The plants are acclimated to it, then you're probably chill. You're probably all good.
I would say no stress. It just comes on. They're
for
going.
sure, though, the higher photosynthetic active radiation that comes off the PAR, the visible light, if you put a plant from a bedroom that has a lot less light, like a T5 or a low wattage ceramic metal halide, and you stick it right into a high intense LED, you will get a cline and a discoloration. It's almost like you do have to ease them in. And the way that you can do that, the way that you ease them in without a dimmer, is you raise up your lights as far as possible to help diffuse the light. The inverse square law of lighting still applies to LED lighting. Every foot you get away from the light source, it's half the amount of light. So if you're
these people out here telling you to keep it right above your plants, they can kick rocks.
Well, at the beginning, yeah. If you're trying to acclimate it, then you want to ease it in. You do want to lower those LEDs where they're really close, like a foot off your plants, eventually.
Right.
But if you do that from jumpstart, it's not going to be acclimated. It's the same that if you put some starts that you had indoors out into the full sun, what's going to happen with that, Dutch? As a horticultural major, you know what happens.
Yeah, the intensity of the new light sources is going to just fry them. They're going to shock and it's going to roast them.
Melt away.
Yeah, and that process is called hardening off. What are some other ways to harden off the plants indoors, or are there additives that we can use to help offset that?
I mean, you could try like silica additives to help offset
bolster the plant cells.
But
shade is the best thing.
Shade is the best way to do it, or
Gordon Ramsay got plenty of shade.
The best way, honestly, with the LEDs. I don't know which ones you have. If you have Gavita LEDs with the master controller, you can just simulate the sunset, sunrise, sunset, and I think that's actually probably where that feature. I didn't use it at all with HPS, but what you're saying is exactly true. Those LEDs come on right away, and they're super bright right off the bat, and that sunrise, sunset feature. Would do that. That's what I mean.
I was kind of thinking you guys were going to tell me get a master control, autopilot type of thing. That I was feeling that was the answer to my question. But as always, it's good calling in and hearing all you guys' professional responses.
Well, if you got a few extra $100, dude, go do it. I mean, if you got 8 to 10 lights, you shouldn't be trying to cut corners. I'm letting the other people know that maybe have the same problem with 1 or 2 lights. And it's their first grow, and they stuck them under these high-intensity LEDs, and their plants aren't looking so groovy. The way you do it is you offset the plant off to the side, and you raise the lights all the way up.
Right.
You could do the same thing with yours. And what you end up doing is do you have one controller for all your lights, or like 2 4-light controllers? Do you have one?
We have 2 controllers. One's an 8 controller, one's a 4, and they come out. They kind of offset. Like one comes on a couple of minutes before the other one, so it isn't like maximum strength.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So what you can do to help acclimate all the plants is every couple hours, just have those flip. like rather than just on 12 to 18 hours, before you flip them into bloom, you want them to be acclimated before you go into bloom. You want them to be growing vigorously with the light on, full intensity, the entire time that they should be on without any adverse effects.
Right, and I try to get the most bang for my dollar too. So we do a perpetual cycle. You know, we kind of bring in the new cycle. You know, 2 weeks before the old cycle comes out. You know, putting them outside the light.
But what I'm saying, Smoke, is same thing for me. Is I got almost the same setup with the LEDs, and I don't necessarily use a controller to dim them and whatnot. What I do is I will have 4 of them on over a certain part of the garden, and then a couple hours later those turn off and the other 4 turn on. So it's not direct light consistently. It kind of gives them a little bit of reprieve, and it acclimates them. And it shouldn't be longer than 2 or 3 days that you're through with that. Now you have them on continuously for your veg, and you're ready to go. But no matter what, no matter what, for the listeners out there, if you see some type of stress on your plant where they're not growing vigorously, or they're showing clawing or discoloration, purpling of the stem where they just don't seem they're happy, don't flip them into bloom. Get them healthy before you flip them. That's because all of our energy that we're using in forms of light, CO2, nutrient, water, we want all that energy to producing buds. We don't want it to healing the plant. So get the plant healthy before you flip them, and make sure that they're ready to go.
Bigger fruits, right?
More roots, more fruits. And pruning is always healthy, too, in those circumstances. I can't tell you
my question to you, hey, what you got growing under them lights you was talking about? What's your true out there on the West Coast? 'Cause I don't know what the other color, whatever the other
you don't
Gordon
know?
Ramsay
Total
was
Steve
talking
right
about. Man, out here is that ice cream cake and that jealousy. That's the true Zaza.
Oh, brother, you don't know about the BMC Zaza.
We got that Zaza out here. That's Horty shit.
You got Horty Zaza. You got
still
Gorilla
rocking
Glue.
That purple punch.
No, that's cereal milk now, dog. That's what that is. No, we're fucking with some new things. Actually, I'm lucky enough to be testing a lot of the new turtle seeds, which are all hash bar crosses, the Julius line. That strawberry Julius we just finished up. It's fucking fire. They just dropped those seeds. We're lucky enough that we have it in cut version. But right now I'm running some testers of the hash bar Sunday Driver and the hash bar Sherbert Pie Face Sunday Driver cross.
Okay,
and
check
they're all
out that
purple.
jealousy too, man. I know you guys know about that jealousy.
And we're gonna call it train wreck.
We're gonna call it train wreck. Yeah, we're gonna call it train wreck.
Just name everything after old school stuff.
We're gonna call it Amtrak.
Well, whatever you call it, is that RGW, that really good weed, man. You guys know what you're doing out there. It's good to talk to you guys.
I know, man. I'm glad you're doing good. Family's doing good. You're back in the saddle, dude, and I'm really happy that your Browns beat the Steelers, because I was tired of hearing Horty talk shit.
Oh, he owes me too. He owes
Fuck
me
yeah, he owes you.
Pizza tour in fucking Michigan. I'm gonna collect on his ass.
You need to go collect on him. He's close enough now. He's only a few hour drive. You go up and see him.
Shit, I'm hibernating right now, homie. It's negative degrees out here.
Yeah, fuck that. Now, it was only 82 degrees where I'm at today, so it's kind of cold
Holy
too.
fuck y'all.
I'm wearing shorts and a sweatshirt tonight.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Thanks so much, Smokey.
I appreciate it,
Smokey, you're going to get some geopot, some Terp and Perp. Go to the new spot on DFC Radio to claim your prize, enter it in, and that will get shipped out first thing. If you enter it in, the faster it goes out. It's all on you guys to get it in and get it shipped out as quick as possible. We ship it out.
Motherfucking Heavy Tea Grow Show.
Yeah, dig. Thanks, Smoke. 562-653-0707. That is the phone number. Hardening off plants going on. Before we go to break, talking about hardening off, it's so cold back east, -20 or wherever the fuck Smoke is in Ohio.
Yeah.
They're not doing shit. But in Zone 9, which are basically the southern states, California, Arizona, Texas, Florida.
Mediterranean climates.
People are planting outdoors right now, right?
They can, yeah. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, depending on exactly where you are and what state, you could have been, you might have missed a month out of a grow season where you couldn't plant anything, and then you're planting lettuces, kales, all kinds of stuff if you're really into it now throughout March, and then you transition into the main thing that I think everybody starts to grow in the summer: corn, tomatoes.
I think you can even start corn here right now, but like carrots,
I'm sure
radishes.
there's a variety. There's a variety of corn that will grow with nothing available. It'll just start to grow.
Yeah.
Because that's how advanced corn is now.
They call it New York mids.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what state
That's
do they?
gutter corn.
Oh, I think it's Texas where they.
Yeah, gutter corn.
Hey, who were the rappers from Texas that used to come on get a
I
little
grew
TV
a bunch of
saying-
food last year because I thought it was the end of the
Texas
world.
rappers? Yeah, they slept in their car.
And I hope that
Oh, you talking about Dooney and
that mind stays the same. Not like
and his
the
boy.
What was
world
homeboy's
is gonna
name?
end, but
Dooney Kush?
It might.
Yeah,
so
Dooney,
put
but
it
what
on
was the other dude's
food.
name? P something.
Super J.
Yeah,
Super.
Supa and Dooney. And they would always refer to weed as corn. You got that corn?
Yeah.
I'll be like, what?
They're probably from
I
some
got
state
weed.
that it's super illegal.
Texas.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to get that corn.
Yeah, they doing good, man.
There's no
They doing
seed,
good.
right?
Yeah, they upgraded to a van now.
They back in Texas. Nah, they came out here to pursue their rap career. They put it all on the line. They got family of somewhere to stay out there, so they just thought out here was a place to be.
The pandemic hit, and they had to go back to Texas.
Texas is really nice, but
I like
there's some
them.
backwards stuff there.
Yeah.
where, for instance, weed is
Like you could be driving the car
paraphernalia.
with as long as you have less than 6 beers open, you're good. And you could just be
That's
shooting.
not true.
And you could just be shooting your shotgun out the window.
That's
Pa-da!
mostly true.
It's mandatory that they give you ammo when you buy beer.
No. They have weird things about beer that they don't like. No one likes drinking and driving. Come on.
Nobody likes drinking and driving except
Well, beer's more expensive.
No state supports it.
If it's cold in Texas.
It is.
Well, yeah, because you will drink it if it's cold in your car. If it's warm, you might wait to get home.
That's a good point.
So
my liquor
and
store
if
should
you're in
start selling me
Texas-
warm beer.
And well, at least where my dad's from,
That's
if you're
what
in
they do?
Texas and you're from there, that money saved on the beers.
That's a gallon
Money
again.
saved.
$1 saved is $1 earned.
I mean, at least a while back, I'd say.
All
Rockdale,
right.
Texas.
Let's take a quick break. Listen to a couple old Dr. Duff interviews. Get some more callers. 562-653-0707. Call in. We'll get you right on here on Heavy T's Grow Show. The one and only, your mom's favorite grow show, Trevor Grant's favorite grow shows, NorCal's favorite grow show, Ohio's favorite Gordon Ramsay's favorite grow show. You dig. Heavy T. We'll be back.
Rising up, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Babylon, you hypocritic enemy. You create more problems than you got the remedy. You're misleading and deceive my people endlessly. And then you wonder why me never want you next to me. Your civilians are like slaves, like in servitude. And the only way you keep them is to keep them from the truth. While your institutions keep indoctrinate the youth. We hear you speak of hope and change, then you leave no proof. Babylon, you're smart, now this is more than true. But when the people wake on up, they'll come straight after you. There's no escaping from the plans we got set out for you. You see your men, women, and children coming after you. Life with you's illusion, not reality. And for anyone who wants some peace, you name insanity. You subdue my people with stories and fantasies. False governments, false courts, false authorities in this iration. All nations, one people, one destiny, yeah. Iration. All nations, one people, one destiny. Babylon, you are a sickness to society. There is no other that could claim more notoriety. With all your chemical concoctions of variety, what you really seek is for my people to go quietly. But what they're really getting ill from is your mind control. It has diminished our intelligence and numbed our souls. Manipulation of the masses is your only goal. You may have succeeded, but the difference is now we know. So what you gonna do without our energy? Cause now we're using it to make a brand new energy. Yeah, we infuse our meditation go. When one foundation's a rotten, you can't go no more. So lift your eyes and set your sights upon that door and get the out of our lives. Don't come back no more in it. Iration, all nations, one people, one destiny. Yeah, iration, all nations, one people, one destiny. Yeah, music's the healer, the healer. She's the healer. Music, the healer, the healer. She's the healer. Oh, the healer. Oh, in this iration, yeah. All nations, one people, one destiny. Yeah, iration, all nations, one people, one destiny. Yeah.
DFCRadio.com.
You are listening to Heavy T's Grow Show on DFZ Radio Network.
Love that money. Heavy T Grow Show, baby.
Hey, are you all right?
I don't know, man. I am freaking out. I think I'm having a bad trip, bro.
A bad trip? Things look fine to me. Looks like you just transplanted your girls into some happy hippie garden mix from Sanctuary Soils.
So I'm not freaking out?
Oh, you're freaking out all right, and I would be too. That's no ordinary potting soil you've got there. That's a premium organic blend that includes composted forest material, peat moss, perlite, pumice, lava rock, some of the best worm castings available, humic shale ore, dolomite lime, azomite, soy meal, and gypsum.
That's a lot of stuff. Did you just read all that? You just blew my mind, man.
It's a lot of good stuff that you can only find in an organic, natural mix like Happy Hippie.
So what you're saying is, with Happy Hippie Garden Mix, I shouldn't panic because it's organic?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said that, and you shouldn't either. Although I guess you aren't wrong. Here's the deal. You aren't having a bad trip, bro. This is all great news. You're providing your plants with everything they need to get off to an incredible start.
So I can't taste colors then?
No. But you will taste and see the difference in your fruits and flowers now that you're using Happy Hippie Garden Mix from Sanctuary Soil. For more information, you should check out bulksoil.com.
So you're big time, huh?
Yeah, kinda.
Don't you put that evil on me!
Heavy T.
Hey man, your garden smells amazing this year. What are you doing different?
Haven't you heard? We've been using the Turpinator.
Did you say Turpinator like terpenes?
Yes, exactly. Turpinator is designed to increase your plant's terpenes, which are responsible for everything from how your plants smell to how much flavorful oils they produce. Basically, Turpinator is the one-stop shop for an overall quality increase for your fruits and flowers.
That's awesome. You know, I can tell the Turpinator has not only increased the oils in all your herbs and flowers, but it looks like it's going to increase your dry weight as well. And dude, don't even get me started on those crystals. They look like mini icebergs.
Well, you better hurry up and get on board. It's flowering season right now. And since Turpinator is made right here in Sonoma County, you can literally find it in any hydro store in town. Boost your plant's oils and bring out flavors that will drive your friends wild. Turpinator. Sticky is an understatement.
Heavy T hooked me up, man. Thanks.
That's right.
Hey, I'm in the zone.
Coming to grips with measuring pH is a fundamental part of ensuring a successful crop. Of course, having the right nutrient mix is important, but without a slightly acidic pH level, plants won't receive optimal benefits from the nutrients supplied. Blue Lab has a range of pH measurement tools available to help both the commercial and small-scale growers. These include the Blue Lab Guardian Monitor, the Blue Lab Combo Meter, the Blue Lab pH Meter, the Blue Lab pH Pen, and the Blue Lab Soil pH Meter. For more information, visit us online at getbluelab.com.
That's Horty's Pimpin' 101.
So if you wanna catch a groove, wanna feel the siren vibe, I said just rock and come in, you know, said the vibe is right. Yeah. So bring your queen, I tell yourself loud the machine tonight. Yeah. Cause it's a funky reggae party and we feel the vibe. Yeah. It's a long time I know dance like this. It's a long time I know groove like this. We sing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, alright. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. We sing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, alright. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. So if you wanna catch a groove, wanna feel this irie vibe, I said just rock and come in, you know I said the vibe is right. Bring your queen, I tell yourself loud the machine tonight. Cause it's a funky reggae party and we feel the vibe. Oh, it's a long time I know dance like this. It's a long time I know groove like this. We sing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. We sing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Alright. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Oh, we singing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Yeah. Na 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 na. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Say na na na. Oh, yeah. It's a long time I know dance like this. It's a long time I know groove like this. We sing yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Alright. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh.
This is what Gordon Ramsay says when he gets CRC
General
from California.
hydroponics.
Nah. Come on, give me the song.
No, give me
Go back a little bit so I can get back in that rhythm. No, the na part. Yeah, yo, you will do. Oh, here goes Marcos Pollos. Marcos, did you order those wings? Na 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 na. I ordered ding da da ding 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 tea ding da da ding ding tea. Hey, I'm opening up a new tea spot. It's called Ting D.
Ting D.
Ting D.
You like Ting T? You would love Ting D.
It's Ting Ting.
Ding da da ding 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 da da ding ding dong.
Su Yang tea.
What is that? That's Jack Black where he's walking in that one Grove movie and he's on mushrooms and he's having everyone behind him is like da 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 da.
So you get a cup this big.
Oh yeah.
And you put like that much boba, and then the rest ice.
What about aloe vera?
And then a little bit of like
barf.
Purple tea, and then you're like, all right, $10. And people are like, ooh, it's so delicious.
And then you're super fancy that you don't accept cash payments.
Yeah. Oh, we're so fancy here.
That's why you don't like them.
We only accept tap to pay.
Right.
Don't you have a smartphone with tap to pay, sir? Oh, you don't fit in here.
I don't accept legal tender. I only accept quarters of Bitcoin.
Yeah, if you wanted to pay with Bitcoin, sir, we could accommodate you, but that cash
That's
is
smart.
unaccepted here.
How do we accept Bitcoins at Heavy T's Grow Show?
We need a wallet.
A coin wallet?
I got a fucking wallet. I'll show you right now. Well,
A Bitcoin
my wife might have stole it.
A Bitcoin wallet.
And
All right.
remember the password so you don't lose $70 million.
But,
Ding ding ding
speaking
ding
of
ding ding zow, ding 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 zow.
Bitcoins and investments, if you would have taken, someone tried to question what I'd said on the show about GME.
About your financial
and
advice.
I dropped Sundial last week.
And if we had taken your advice.
Take a peek.
You know it's illegal to give financial advice.
I didn't give financial advice. I simply stated something that actually happened, a fact.
This for entertainment purposes only. Right. Nothing that we say should be taken
But how much
seriously.
If you are taking advice
how
from a
much
guy
did that
that's
one go
drinking
up?
something
100%?
called a whiskey mule and taking financial advice from a guy that's on a show called Heavy Tea Grow Show
With dreadlocks.
dreadlocks down to the middle of his back, that's drinking a product from Cutwater Spirits called Whiskey Mule.
And it says Mother Earth on his shirt, and there's a sign behind him that says Perpinator.
You're wrong. But if you would have taken Sundial last week, you would have been right.
And whose best friends are named Schmitty and Nasty Nate, you know that you're fucked.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Yeah,
fuck, man.
who do you get your financial advice from? Smitty and Nasty Nate.
Nasty Nate told me Sundial last week, put it all on, let it ride, and hey, you know.
Here we are.
Have you seen his hairy shoulders? No. No, but your mom has. What is going on with these plants in this bag right here?
Those
Dutch
are
Master?
the
This is a contaminant.
This is how you do it.
That's how you get rid of scale?
This is how
No,
you do
we
it.
actually took the flame. We took the torch to the
To
scale
scale?
plant.
You
prior to taking
torched
cuts.
the plant?
Slightly, yeah.
That's awesome.
Is it torched the
Fire.
No,
There's
those
a
are all ready
pesticide.
to go. Those are the cuts that you'll probably, or someone here.
No, I'm not using
Some
that.
lucky
Fire's a
person
pesticide.
will be finding out if it's the truth or not.
Oh my God, we're gonna actually probably mail those out.
I actually fulfilled. All I did was fulfill a
Smokey,
request.
you got some. What are they called? Sour
Sour-
mints?
I don't know
Sour
why you're looking
mints.
at me. I
Sour
didn't bring
mints.
the plant here.
It's sour diesel NYC times Kush mints.
Yeah, sour mints.
Back cross with hash bar OG.
Ooh, stabilized.
That's what we got to do with it.
EX 3 times.
Because
double
everyone
XO.
wants sour, so we sour strawberry Julius or sour orange Julius. We could have all the Juliuses, but they'll just make it sour.
Sounds very good. So, actually, dude, I have one of the apricot jelly times hash bar. That shit is like already in veg. It is already like fuzzy with like terps and shit. It's
That's
so
good
fucking
shit.
And
aromatic.
that one smells like grapefruit, right?
Dude, it's so fragrant. It's citrus smell for sure, but it's like overwhelming. Where I'm almost like, because who the fuck uses a filter necessarily for smell in their veg area, right? Where it's fucking reeks in the veg area.
It's potent.
It's
good.
crazy, but it'll probably be
That's
hermaphrodite.
a good sign. Yeah, hopefully it's not male.
Get your hopes
Or
up.
if it is, we could use it for some good.
Cuts now
genetics.
available from Nick. All right, let's go to our phone lines one last time here right now. Not last time, but one more time. Who's on the line? Who do we got over here? I'm saying
Jose from the LBC.
Jose, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? How you guys doing?
Good. How you feeling?
Pretty good, thank you.
Right on. What's your grow question?
I had a question. What is the best type of water do you guys recommend for your plants?
If you're in soil, the best water is going to be just clean reverse osmosis water in between waterings, and then when you're feeding, you can put nutrients in the water every other time, unless your soil's like hot, good soil that you're just going to be giving it water. If you're hydroponic, you want to be starting with the cleanest water so you could add the most amount of ppm to it. If your tap water is like 300 or 500 ppm and you're trying to make a schedule of 1,500 parts per million, you can only put in so much nutrients, so you're only getting 1,200 ppm of the good stuff. So the cleaner the water you start with, the better. So you want to use reverse osmosis water if your tap water is like above 200.
Yeah, and Dutch, everyone's concerned about the parts per million EC because that's going to tell you everything that's basically not water in it. But it does matter what that ppm or EC
that's
represents.
The most important thing.
Is it worth getting a water analysis, you think?
You can get like not that sophisticated water analysis from the water company that supplies your water. It's going to take a little while to get to you, but you can get that type of stuff for free. It'll tell you what the close to percentages of what's in the water that's being delivered to
your
faucet.
ppm.
And it'll tell you the ppm. It'll tell you even like some of the things
Of
that
what
are in
each
there.
thing is.
Yeah.
And the analysis is never good. Like,
yeah, it's free
they
information.
got to tell
to
you like there's arsenic in there and everything.
Yeah, it's free information to you. Yeah, I mean, but it doesn't kill you, right?
No, it's a low ppm.
So it only makes you stronger.
Yeah,
yeah,
So
but
they're
for
doing you a
plants.
favor. No, yeah. So for plants, there's a lot of. Thank you, Marcos. There's a lot of different
Oh,
things.
Marcos,
you
can I get one?
To kind of simulate taking something out of there, like chlorines and chloramines. Chloramines not so much, but chlorine can be off-gassed by just leaving the water exposed. But
Right,
a
good
filter, if you're doing
the chlorine and chloramine is usually the big deficit to a grower, especially using beneficials.
If you're growing in soil,
They'll
though, you
kill
can
'em.
get away with a much lower capacity or less sophisticated filter. Whereas in hydroponics, you want to have probably the most sophisticated reverse osmosis system you can afford. But it really comes down to what you can do. I wouldn't if you can't go get a proper filter or this or that, and you're growing in soil, I wouldn't not grow because of something like that. It's not like it has to be that way.
At the very least, you can get a garden hose adapter
Right.
that takes out the chlorine and chloramine and some sediment.
Right.
A small sediment and dechlorinator filter, you're looking at between $50 and $110, depending on the capacity, the flow rate, how often. If it has interchangeable filters, some of the ones that you just attach to the end of your garden hose, once they're done, they're done. You go get a new one, and so you're spending $60 every time, rather than one that may have replacement filters that it's $110, $115, and you get a $10 filter or a couple $10 filters just switched out every 6 months or so. So, make the right investment, and that will. Do you know what your parts per million are on your water right now? Did you tell us?
No, I didn't. I haven't actually.
You're in Long Beach, right? Are you in an older part of the town or a newer part?
It's 300 to
I'm
500.
in the east side. In the east side.
Okay. Well, man, growing up in Long Beach, I'll tell you right now, is it an older building?
Yes.
Okay, it's probably going to have a lot higher ppm because of the older pipes. East side's a little bit further away from the water treatment, and the further you get away, the more that it's going to accumulate stuff as it flows to you. So you want to get a ppm check. Go to your local hydro store, dude. We own Long Beach Hydro. Bring a sample of your water down to Long Beach Hydro. We might not be able to do it right on the spot right then, but if we're not busy, we'll do a ppm test for you and tell you what it's at. And, I mean, if it's somehow coming out at like 100, you're probably good.
The
Get a
lowest it's gonna
dechlorinator,
be
you're good.
is 200.
But it's probably 2 to up to 500.
350 maybe.
In Long Beach, if it's 200.
Oh, 500. Seen 500 for
Yeah.
sure.
Wow.
Lakewood, I've
Yeah.
seen 500.
700, yeah.
But it is best to start with pure water. That way you know what you're giving your plants. These are fast-growing, robust plants that we want to give optimal nutrition. And let's say it doesn't have a detrimental effect, whatever's in the starting water right away. As you start adding more nutrients and you start trying to fine-tune your growing skills, you're potentially always going to be missing, because how those things that are in the water and what you're putting into it react together, bind together, or fall out or whatever, it is going to not be optimal for the plant. And we're spending all this money with lights, with air conditioning and stuff indoors, even outdoors, nutrients and stuff, time, being nervous about the neighborhood teenagers smelling my crop and coming to grab it from my backyard and stuff. I want to do it the best I can. I don't want to half-ass it.
Yeah, no, and I was only saying that about, get your grow on regardless, just because that's the mindset to have.
Don't let that stop you.
Don't let any of it stop you. You're just going to learn from it. And if the next 2 steps down the line has to be you getting a badass water filtration system, then so be it. But get some grows under your belt, and then just use all that information as you continue to develop your skills as a grower.
There's dechlorinator drops you can use to eliminate the chloramine and the chlorine. You can let it breathe off, but ideally look at a sediment and dechlorinating filter. So as you fill your reservoir or your watering can, that you're starting with as pure water as possible. And not just your cannabis plants or your favorite fruit plants. Start using that around your house plants, your landscape. Those plants will start taking off too once you start eliminating certain things that are in there. Just with a sediment and a dechlorinator.
They were surviving with it, but once they get that good water, they go off.
It is. It's crazy. Your neighbor's going to be like, what are you using? It's funny. Every grower I know has like the most fantastic landscape garden.
Side plants, yeah.
And I'm like, let me guess. You drain your reservoir right there.
Yeah.
It's all
like, how did you know?
Botanical.
Well, that's the largest plumeria I've ever seen, bro. That shit is like 25 feet tall with 4 foot across blooms.
Yeah. Yeah, when your
Jurassic.
when your avocado tree grows 40 feet in 3 months, that's where that's the drain pipe ending.
Who
right
had that
there.
crazy artichoke plant? Was it you?
I got the keeper cut.
He's got the keeper cut.
You just see it already. It's already as big as I am. This year's is even bigger. It's huge.
I'm taking one artichoke to collect the seeds.
Dude, it has like 20.
Let one go to seed.
We let them almost all of them go to seed because it poofs off 20 fucking blooms at a time that are as big as a head of lettuce.
It's the keeper cut.
That's awesome.
It is like it might win an award.
It was the best artichoke I ever tasted too. I remember I took one home.
They're great. That's
and
the
it's
thing.
the best artichoke.
It won the Heavy Tea Grow Show Artichoke Award.
Well, I'm saying there might be a real
3 years in a
world
row.
award that we could enter.
I'm gonna claim my prize. I'm going to DFZ Radio, claim prize right there.
Like that thing's a fucking
The
specimen.
heart of that thing
specimen.
was like a hockey puck, and it was purple.
I
was
know,
like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That's because it was pulled a little late and it was about to bloom.
Your mom saw it was purple, but it wasn't my heart.
It's a big purple hair.
Jack's like, what? Jose got it. Jose, I'm sending you. Oh, fuck.
I'm sorry,
More
I had another
questions?
question.
Okay.
Does it make a big difference if you really keep up on your water contamination or not?
Well, we kind of addressed that. Go ahead, Dutch.
I'm sorry, though.
Yeah, me too.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't explain it right. Does it make like a big difference in your plant?
The levels of contamination.
Is it gonna make a big?
You'll get more yields with the cleaner water.
Yeah. No, so like
and
what
faster
it
growth.
makes a difference with is not so much like the end result is it messes with the plant, but what it does is it creates an environment that is not conducive to the growth of like microbiology and things like that in your soil. When you're in soil, that's its biggest issue.
And it can have candium, arsenic, other stuff that isn't beneficial.
And that all that stuff kills living organisms. Then nothing in your soil is going to be able to handle arsenic or anything like that. And the salts, the chloramines, and any of the metals will be adversely affecting your microbiology as well, which then in turn will make your soil less lively is the best way to put it, I guess, where it's like wanting to produce tons of nutrients that your plant could then uptake, because that's the key thing in soil is nutrients and fertilizer. Well, nutrients gets broken down through a process called decomposition, and then you are just sitting there while your plant's taking up those decomposed materials whenever it wants it, and you're just kind of aiding that by watering it, allowing oxygen to get into the soil and allow all those processes to happen. And then in hydro, it's all about being clean and knowing what you're doing and starting off on a clean slate, and that's why it's extremely important in hydro. So that's you don't, the contaminations will affect your plant eventually, even though it might not be right off the bat, because it's actually affecting something else completely, and then your plants are the ones that have to deal with it. It's like what they say, like, you feed your soil, not your plant. You know what I mean? Like, you're wanting your soil to be as healthy as possible, and that means the microbiology, all the living organisms that's inside your soil, you need those to be happy in order for your plant to be happy.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah. So
that
it's all,
that answered my question.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why getting a filter, even if it's like not even, there's people that do Brita filters and stuff like that, especially if you're not doing a lot of plants, where, like, you know, a medium-sized Brita filter could do a couple plants, maybe 3 plants. And if you time it properly, you know, and are on it, you could just filter a bunch of those in one day and fill up like a 5-gallon container or something large and store that filtered water, you know, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that pretty much answered my whole questions. I pretty much had for all you guys.
You got it, brother.
All right, Jose, man, I appreciate you calling in. I'm going to send you some Mission Fertilizer, the Grow, the Bloom, the Crazy Swell. I'm also going to get you some of the geopods. You heard about them earlier on the show. They're awesome. Go to geopods.com to learn more. Left Coast Wholesale. I'm also going to send you some of the new product, the Earth Alive Soil Activator. It brings a bunch of living organisms to your grow medium, helps stimulate root growth, helps increase nutrient uptake, water usage. It's great for any type of cannabis or any type of food, or even just to remediate beds or around your house. You can mix it into water and wash and water it down, of course, with dechlorinated water, because it's living. That's the point of it. You use chlorine to kill living organisms. That's why they put chlorine into the water. So you want it to be dechlorinated when we use these type of bacterias. But all those things going out to you, Jose. Talk to our screener. It looks like you're local. You might be able to pick it up as soon as tomorrow. But if you need it shipped, go to dfzradio.com and go to claim prize. Enter in your information. Oh, you
can claim your prize.
Oh, you got to go there for a pickup too. All right.
I mean, we can. If you're coming locally, there's clearly workarounds because we'll just see you in face. But you can do the same thing. You just go to pickup instead of ship, and then also that's going to put you in the loop, though. That's going to get you in the loop of anything that's happening at LB Hydro, any sales that are happening online, where you can get those same products online and then cruise to the shop and pick them up.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much, man. I really, really appreciate that, bro.
You got it, brother.
Yep.
It really helps a lot, man.
To all your friends, get hooked up. Listen to Heavy T. Come down to Long Beach Hydroponics. The best deals in town, the most knowledgeable staff. We're going to help you grow better. Been keeping Long Beach green since 2006. TheHydroShops.com is their website. And right there at 1732 Clark Avenue in the beautiful city of Strong Beach, California.
Yes, sir.
Right next to the riots.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, thanks, man. Good looking out, bro. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jose. Talk to you later, man.
I mean, Heavy T, LB Hydro stepping into the future. You got the pickup in store.
Hell yeah.
They're digital now, bro.
You gotta go on the website now. They've changed. They've changed, man. You got to go on the website now, man, and fill out the stuff.
At 13 years, 13 years it said website coming soon.
It is here.
It finally came. I mean, define soon.
And I own an internet media business. Isn't that great?
It is here.
You know what the problem is? I got people like Saint and Mark and Dutch not looking at the orders, so couldn't do that. But don't
what happened was they were sent to your email.
So this,
and then no one would know.
This is what's going to happen: is Manny's going to send out the wrong shit.
Well, hopefully it's not like a super high valued product that they get instead of their surprised because we'll never hear about it. They'll just be like, "Thank you."
They're like, I ordered a CalMag and I got C4.
Thank you.
I got a liter of Vitalize, $300.
Hey, these guys are great.
Like,
Order
hell
from them as
yeah.
much as possible. It's like a mystery box.
I wanted a liter of Protect. I got a gallon of Vitalize.
Yeah.
You
And then I ordered a
Manny's mystery box.
I ordered a complete set of Veg Bloom.
$5.
I got sun grip hangers.
The shipping will go in as $5, but we'll send you a 5 liter of C4.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Dude, there's reviews on there going, ordered the Blue Lab 500 ml solutions. Sometimes you get a C4. That's the review. It's Manny's mystery box.
That's the review.
We love these guys.
And I ordered a second one and it came again.
Yeah. No matter what, I never get anything less than what I ordered is worth. So it's
always a double.
What in the world is in Manny's mystery box?
Spend $3, you might get 60.
It's happened. That's all I gotta say.
And with no, where's Waldo? Where's my shipment at, Manny?
Yeah, where's my actual stuff I ordered?
Huh? I didn't know. Did you match up the pack slip with the name on the shipping slip?
That's what you're supposed to do?
Huh? Hey, the ones that we ran out of ink on, did you reprint them? Yeah. Are you sure? It doesn't look. We had 44 orders, and you only have 4 on this cart, and it says you're done. Oh, Dutch. Dutch, help me out.
No.
And Dutch is.
There's this,
Dutch just gets yelled at.
I'm going to just say that maybe a training class, maybe there was some training script.
Yeah, your training is sorry.
Well, I don't train people to ship.
I know. Diego should have trained him.
You should have had Diego train his replacement if you were.
He got deported.
That's like the OG move.
He got deported.
He got deported, and Manny got imported.
Yeah. Manny might get deported. We don't know.
Not with Biden. He's reconciling families now. He's not splitting it up. Manny might just not be able to come.
Manny's an adult. They're just like, you got to go take your ass back home. No, Manny's. I think he's okay.
And Manny's like, I got deported. I'm like, oh man, you got to Mexico. He's like, no, I'm Canadian.
Yeah. I'm in Canada, dog.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
SA? I mean, A?
Yeah. Hey, SA?
All right, let's go talk grow with our man Jesse in Chicago. Jesse, what's going on?
Hello, how's it going?
Good, man. How you doing?
Pretty good. I had a question about, all right, so you're always talking genetics because, like, it just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to, like, a seed bank or whatever. I bought some seeds, and they gave me the seeds I ordered, but they also gave me 5 other seeds, and it said on the back of it, autoflower, or it said autoflower fem. So then I'm like, oh, yeah, autoflowers. I remember Heavy T's talking about those a long time ago, saying everybody in Europe does autoflowers, but over here in the States, they really don't do it. We go indica sativa for whatever we want, or we go a hybrid. And then I'm, like, learning that a hybrid, like when some people say, oh, it's got both, it's got indica and sativa in my plant, that's a ruderalis, right?
Ruderalis, yes.
So ruderalis, yeah, when it's the auto is usually a hybrid ruderalis with a hybridized indica.
How do you say it correctly? I always say
ruderalis.
Yeah, I'm ruderalis.
Ruderalis.
Ooh.
They used to call it
rowdy ruderalis.
Ditchweed.
I'm becoming a wrestler. What the fuck is
hybrids,
Jesse doing?
Hybrids are not autoflowers.
Murking his cat. Sound
like he's blowing life.
Yeah.
Or he's real close to Chicago. He might be. Okay, ruderalis.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
because there's hybrids.
Cannabis ruderalis.
Rowdy ruderalis.
That stay in veg, and they're hybrid, half indica, half sativa, and they never flower until you give them the 12.
They're complete different. They're the third and hardly recognized variety of, and people claim there's new ones now, but there's cannabis sativa, cannabis indica,
and ruderalis.
Cannabis ruderalis. Ruderalis is like the runt of the litter,
and it's autoflower.
That like they don't want to accept it, but like scientists are like, no, you're part of it.
You gotta listen to the science.
And listen, the hybrids that he's talking about, it has to be crossed with the ruderalis.
Correct,
That so you can cross indica and stuff. And there's autoflowers that come out looking
crazy,
like full term photo period
Yeah.
things now.
They've come a long way.
They're getting better.
But still, for my taste,
No, yeah.
I'm not into it.
It's less control. And
if you get killer weed, you can't keep it.
you can't clone it.
Yeah.
You're starting from seed every time.
Yeah.
So they're not my favorite, dude, but I know plenty of people that still rock with it.
If it's like a full outdoor field, I could see maybe messing with them because you're like, oh, they're all just got a flower. But like,
You lazy fuck.
if you're inside
Yeah,
or doing a greenhouse, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Yep.
So is that the sea green 1 gallon?
Yeah,
Is that
that's
the
what you
answer
could
to
do.
that?
You could totally do that.
1 gallon.
Let them rock 1 gallon sea green, and they do what they do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're gonna get, because you're gonna have to go from seed. You're gonna get a huge variation
of size and
those,
everything.
Of all the types of buds in there. And hey, some people are into that. A lot of people, when they take the time, spend the money, do all that, they want to usually do a monocrop, have 1 or 2
Uniformity.
Yeah, 1 or 2 that are similar, that grow similar, fed similar, and will produce about the same. And then you get a little bit of variety, but you get large quantities of both of those, where you're not getting like, oh, I got some good kind bud on one, and then the other was stress, and a zip is this, and a zip, you know what I mean? Like that's cool if that's just what you're trying to do, but at a certain point, once a certain amount of investment is made, you want to get that ROI.
So the bottom line is this, dude. If you got something, pop them and see what they do.
Yeah.
I'm so turned off on them from you from so long ago. Now
Okay.
I'm old and stubborn fuck.
Yeah, you don't have to
just throw them
care
in the
so much about
refrigerator.
them, but throw them in there. Maybe something crazy happens. Who knows?
They're easy. They're autos.
Yeah,
right?
treat it
So
like a
it's-
tomato plant.
So they're
I
easy.
figured that's why. So, you buy from them again, like, oh, wow, okay, look how great I did. And you go back and then you buy again.
Yeah, and the typical auto flower, the flowers on an auto flowering plant are large, like
kind of larfy,
like Volkswagen bus looking things that are kind of larfy, wispy. When they dry out, they're
always smell like Northern Lights.
And if they get
They're
dense,
not dense.
if they do get dense, they are prone to a lot of bud mold and stuff because there's not airflow in
and
it.
they got that dispensary terp to them.
Yeah.
Like a train wreck Northern Lights.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're always like, look at this fucking fat ass bud I grew, and then like you start trimming it, you're like, oh, that is fucking soft. What is that? That's mold. All right,
Soft.
this whole bud's dead. All right, fuck.
But fucking dude, this is the beauty of growing. Throw some of those in. Don't take if you're interested, don't take what we say with a grain of salt. Have your own experience.
Yeah.
You heard me say earlier, the green thumb's a myth, dirty hands are a reality. It's not just literally going and transplanting, getting your hands dirty. It's trying different things, being experimental. And that's where innovation comes from. That's where new things start to happen, where new things are accepted. And going back to our conversation about legalization and how the mom and pop or the small home grower have all these restrictions where these laws make it more difficult to grow your own, so you're just pushed to buy from large cannabis companies. Well, that's not where innovation is happening. If you have acres or thousands of lights, you're not willing to try a new genetic necessarily without it being proven and tested that you know what you're going to get returned, because it's a business. Growers grow for the love of the plant. Now, a byproduct of that, maybe you're able to give a donation to friends, family, associates, whatever, and they compensate you a little bit, right? That's a benefit. But why we all started growing, set up our lights, took the risk, is because we love the fucking plant.
Yeah.
And if it turned out that you could do what you love for a business, like we're lucky enough to do with the show and the shops and being gardeners and growers, then awesome. But still, I mean, there's plenty of accountants, lawyers, grocery store workers, teachers, stay-at-home moms that are growing their own just because they love the plant. That's where innovation comes from. So be experimental. Try things out. Just take what the older school, the last generation like us, has given you as far as knowledge, and use that and take that into consideration, but expand on that and teach us, man. Growing is always learning. I mean, there's not a better term for cultivation than growing. We're always expanding. We're always growing. It's not stagnant. It's not we've reached the pinnacle of success. We're growing, and that's how I see it all the time. I'm always learning the same as all of us, and we learn together. So do your thing. Let us know how it works out, my man. I'm going to send you some things. Let's do some geopots. How about some mission fertilizers, too? You down with that?
Oh, for sure, Mission.
What about some Purpinator or Turpinator? Which one you want? Do the
Purpinator.
Purpinator.
Yeah, the new one.
The new one. I got you, my man. All right, now you go to dfcradio.com. Make sure the phone number you called in, that you enter that in along with your information so we get that shipped out ASAP. And, of course, if you have any back things that you're looking to put in the comments or notes, hey, I also called this or this that time, and we'll put it all together and get it all out to you.
Awesome.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you for everyone at the Heavy Tea Grow Show.
I appreciate it so much, man. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, that's one thing
Thank
you forgot to tell the listeners, though, is that the new system deleted the old system. So, like, all those, you know,
wait, what? All those what?
So all the back orders. If you wanna, if you
this
wanna
won't
come,
believe me for a second too. Heavy T's logo.
I got ingrown hair right now.
Yeah. So as of today, if you didn't win today, any winners prior,
if it's from today,
it got lost in the
from
mail.
today forward.
No, that was a joke. But if you could have seen Heavy T's face.
They can. I'm on the air.
Well, you were looking at me. You were looking at me.
I never look at you, my friend.
I never look. Who would ever look at you?
When I look at you, I just see disgrace.
I see the man's.
I see disgrace.
I see the man's.
I see my countryman. My Brazilian countryman's.
I see the man's who beat his wife. But the American husband, he's good.
562-653-0707. That's the phone number. Call in. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. A couple interviews, a couple songs. I got to take a whiz.
I got the grand prize question, too.
On dfzradio.com.
7-7 Elko, riding down the west coast. Candy paint dripping cause I just got a fresh coat. California raised me, an LA baby. The Chevrolet raisin, scraping on Dayton's, riding down Rosecrans. Get with the program, call me the drone man, the hydros potens. Got your eyes low, lower than the ocean. Just west coasting through the coast with the potion and the best dro to smoke. The baddest bitches, girls in bikinis with ass titties. The hustle game easy, you just can't believe till you see me on TV. Drive down the wrong street, might see the tech smoke. Hop in the ride and let's go to the west coast. This life is like a movie. You meet a model bitch, then you fuck her like a groupie. Smoking on this OG. Cash rules everything around me. I need more cream. West Coast, get it in. What the fuck you think? Saying I'm riding with you. Really though, this money in the bank. E3 hotter than the California forecast. Burning up these tracks, nigga. I need more cash. Yeah, I'm a bona fide hustler. Fuck with my family or cash and I'ma cut ya. Real G's get it. That's only the obvious. Go against us, you know you facing the consequence. I love my state, but I really hate the politics. Better keep stepping, buddy boy, in a pile of shit. Yeah, in a pile of shit. E3, get it in, nigga, I'm live as shit. 3, 2, 1. California. and Mary J. As the world keeps spinning, like gold 100 spokes, engine running, Chevy gunning down the coast. Just let it roll. Who doesn't love to see a 6-4 hop down the block, banging Easy E and Pac? Motherfuck the cops. I drove in my ride, but I ain't even tripping. It was another summer night in a